his testing regimen, saying they would inform the public if Biden tests positive. The deputy press secretary tweeted that our policy is not to read out every test POTUS has taken. The new, more opaque approach comes as top administration officials have been matter-of-fact about the chances of the president getting COVID, a measure of how ingrained the virus has become in society, and of its diminished threat for those who are up to date on their vaccinations and with access to treatments. Jennifer King, Washington.
And on Wall Street this hour, ahead of the opening bell, Dow futures up 126 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. So they go guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The tabloid said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Friday. Welcome to it. It smells, it's weird.
It's Friday.
And it kind of
cooler out.
Spittling.
We just had a little bit of a spittle storm.
Yeah. I saw some about 45 minutes ago. I was driving in and I was like, that's moisture on my windshield. What's that about?
I don't even remember it being humid this morning though.
And then
that's what's throwing me off.
And then if you looked at certain parts of the sky, there's I guess thunderstorms in the vicinity because the clouds there were some dark clouds and I'm like, this doesn't. It was sunny.
Yeah.
Actually, it looks a little cloudier now than it did earlier when I came in.
I think it's just because the sun is on its way up, so it's kind of hitting the clouds, casting a weird shadow.
But it was like half sun, half kind of ominous, and now it looks a little more cloudy. So there's no talk of a storm this morning, but I don't know. There's sprinklings on the windshield. I'm just saying. Who knows?
I think this is a good sign for monsoon season as I knock on wood, because I don't remember getting smaller storms before the big monsoon seasons hit and passed. Like the one or two that I remember where we just got downpours and like flooded for 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't recall getting spittle storms before that, so I'm curious if this is a good sign or a bad sign.
I'm hoping it is. So we'll see. But yeah, because officially we don't get rain chances till like Sunday night. But we'll see. So anyway, it was nice. But yeah, it does say on the National Weather Service, thunderstorms in vicinity. So we'll see.
Hey, they're saying there's a chance.
I imagine what we'll probably get is that spittle you just saw, and that's about it for a little bit. And this clouds will burn off. And welcome to.
It'll make it nice and humid this afternoon.
Nice balmy 99 today.
Yuck.
But happy Friday. Happy McDonald's Friday.
Yes.
This and every Friday on the Mornings with Mike Winters show is McDonald's Friday. And big thank you to the fine folks at McDonald's for providing us with delicious breakfast treats. And we are very thankful for it. You, too, can swing by any of your McDonald's and enjoy delicious breakfast treats right now. Download the McDonald's app to your smartphone or tablet or whatever you use to get through your day for that kind of stuff. And you will find that app is your compadre.
Yes.
It's a big friend of yours. And there you can order your food. You can decide whether you want to just pick it up through drive-thru or go inside and get it or even have it delivered. And if you sign up for the rewards program with the app, every time you order food, you get points towards free food. And after just a few couple orders, you're getting free stuff.
They really do add up.
You get it pretty quick. So
and we've said it before, but double points for breakfast orders. So if you order for breakfast, you get double your points.
There you go. Like you eat one Egg McMuffin, you get counted as 2 Egg
That's right.
McMuffins.
So right now they've got the $1 breakfast sandwich. That's the main breakfast deal. So you can go get yourself a $1 breakfast sandwich. They also have free, this is for lunch, free large fries with any purchase, 20% off any purchase of $2 or more.
Yeah.
Free any size McCafe beverage with a purchase of $1 and $2 10-piece chicken McNuggets.
Ooh, that's a good deal.
That's a great deal.
Yeah. So utilize that today. And download those apps and give her a little try. I think you'll really like it. And next thing you know, you'll be eating free Big Macs and all that good stuff because you're building up those points. So
incentives.
Big thank you to McDonald's for being our show sponsor each and every Friday. And come on by. And by the way, support McDonald's in many of because they do a lot of things in our community, stuff for our schools, our teachers.
Look at pretty much any poster for like an event happening, you're going to see the McDonald's logo somewhere on there.
Snowburger family has really invested back into the community with their McDonald's. And so when you go and enjoy the food there, you're also investing back in the community too. So big win-win for everybody there. So
did you hear the new Russian version of McDonald's?
Oh yeah, I know. And they
this
pulled
week.
all out. What is it called?
I'm not sure. McDowell's maybe. I don't know.
Wouldn't it be funny? And it was Amos running it.
John Amos. No, but I did really like the new version of the jingle. I'm loving it because if I don't, I'm going to be executed by my government.
I better be loving it.
Or else.
No, well, there you go. Well, the ones here.
I'm Putin it.
The ones here, you can love in it.
That's right.
Your choice.
You can love the original.
That's right.
Theirs is probably like a W. McDonald's. What is what we serve here? Do you have Big Mac? We got Big Macutino.
It's just 2 of them onion domes. Like
we got the Bog Mock.
But our McDonald's way better, and big thank you to them for hooking us up every Friday.
Enjoying an iced caramel macchiato this morning.
Ah, good for you. Yeah, see, I'm not into coffee drinks, so I don't, and I get it. Those are like,
Here's my, I think the biggest problem. The reason that you never got into coffee is because you were in the military.
Well, no, I didn't like it before then.
I feel like I feel like the formative years where I started liking coffee was like in my late teens, early 20s. I sort of liked it beforehand, but before that, the time, because that's when I first discovered like a lot of the extra stuff you could put in it. But I feel like because you were in the military, your hand was forced to like, I'm gonna drink it black because you don't want to look like a pansy.
Well, no, because
black coffee sucks. Yeah, I said it. What?
I didn't like it before then. I didn't like it as a kid, and I tried even like 18, 19 to say, you know what, maybe now that I'm older, maybe it's a thing. And the only way I could even get it semi-palatable is really to put like a pound of sugar and a gallon of cream to make it.
At that point, you're just drinking sweet cream.
Exactly. I'm just like, this is just dumb. And so I didn't.
Yeah, you just take the coffee part out of the equation, which fair enough.
And to be honest, I don't think even to this day, because if I smell coffee, I'm grossed out by it. Like I don't even like the smell.
So weird. So literally, this trip that we're taking, we're planning it based on the proximity to Starbucks and Einstein Brothers Bagels.
Oh wow! So I'm down with the bagels.
There are certain times you realize my friend's a bit basic. I'm like, why Starbucks? Why can't we go to like the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf or something? It's like, ew, no.
Well, I'm all about the Einstein bagels. So
me too, man.
I'll hit
Can't
those
wait
up.
to get me some schmear.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm stoked.
Now, if you would have asked me like 30 years ago, I'm like, no Einstein. I'm Chesapeake Bagel Bakery man because I love about them, but they don't exist anymore.
I'm about to make you super jealous.
Yeah.
In-N-Out and White Castle, both within walking distance.
Ooh, a White Castle walk-in establishment. Good. I can't remember the last time I've been in a White Castle like restaurant.
Yeah. I've never been. I've never been. The only White
It's
Castle
just been a
burgers
long
I've
time.
ever had were the ones you get in the freezer.
Oh yeah, those don't do it justice.
Right.
Not that.
I mean, they were good. They were
Not
okay.
that White Castle burgers are some kind of gourmet, but
There's something about griddle cooking a burger on top of a bed of onions that seriously appeals
it's the
to me.
official 10 o'clock at night burger. That's what it is.
Vegas is kind of the 10 o'clock at night town.
Exactly.
So it feels like it fits.
It hits a spot. But if you're looking for nourishment, yeah, that's the last place you want to go.
I'm not looking for nourishment. I'll nourish myself when I get back.
Yeah.
And I can just eat bagged salad for a month because that's probably all I'm going to be able to afford. But still.
Yeah. You're going to need a little something stronger to defend the White Castle.
That's what the daiquiris are for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put a little vitamin D in it. Vitamin daiquiri.
It's got a bigger flame than the blue one. But
yes, check out McDonald's. 3 locations right here in Roswell, 1 in Artesia, 1 in Carlsbad. Stop by any one of them. Use the app, download it today, and put it to your full advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. Give her a little dance. And if you like chocolate-covered pretzels, they still got the chocolate-covered pretzel caramel McFlurry.
Their machine was temporarily down this morning, so we weren't able to enjoy some chocolate pretzel goodness. But let me tell you, I
don't think it's up in the mornings.
I didn't think so. Like when I worked there,
I'm the only savage who wants ice cream in the mornings.
I don't remember us ever having the shakes or ice cream machines up, but I'm not sure if they have any kind of McCafe beverages that require the soft serve. So I don't know. But yeah, I had one last week. I have been to the mountaintop, and it is good.
Yeah, well, maybe today. 99-degree weather. Good time to be eating a McFlurry. So
that's right.
Big thank you to them. Let me give you the rundown for today's show. We do have a full slate for you for today's show. Here in just a little bit, we're going to have Jessica Steele join us with from Loveless Regional Hospital, and she's with the SCORE orthopedic side. So we're going to talk little orthopedics and things like issues with like sports industries,
medicine,
things like that. So,
sure.
So Jessica's going to join us here in just a little bit.
The off season's the time to get it taken care of.
Yeah. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, Vicki Thomas is going to join us in studio with Eastern New Mexico University Roswell. Going to be talking about their kids' college classes that are coming up here this summer. So we'll have that conversation with Vicki around 8:15. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, around 9:15 or so, Tracy Fry with the Roswell Public Library will be joining us. They are officially underway with the summer reading program. Got underway here about a week or two ago. And it's in full swing right now through this month and July, really. Yeah. It's usually a 2-month deal. So you can, if you missed the additional day of sign up, no snow cones for you, but you can still sign up because they were doing that the first day of the program.
It's such a weird time for my daughter because we signed her up for the summer reading program. Now, she's a really good reader. Like, she's a grade above her level. So she can read and comprehend most of even the bigger words. She doesn't want to break away from picture books.
Oh.
Yeah. She's like, because I'm like, you need to start reading.
That's her comfort zone.
Because we signed her up for chapter books. You only have to read 1 chapter book versus 10 picture books. I said, Rhiannon, this will save you some time. You could think about how many chapter books you could pump out. But she's only wants to read the picture books. So I got to find her some chapter books that appeal.
Okay.
That's kind of where we're at now.
Well, good. Well, good news. You have a whole building full of books that we can access for
Start
her.
at one end and just work your way back.
There you go.
I like it.
So Tracy will give us an update on what's going on there at the library, talk about the summer reading program and some special events that are coming up as part of the summer reading program, too. Plus, we'll have all of your hourly features that include the news of the local and national variety, along with your town hall, Wall Street business updates, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. So there we go.
Yep.
It is 7:17. Let's go ahead and take an official look at that weather. More hot. More, maybe some rain. Maybe. It is monsoon season now, you know.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty hot today. We'll be in the upper 90s for the afternoon high and a little bit breezy. Lots of sunshine for the overnight hours. Clear and mid 60s to low 70s. We'll hit the 100-degree mark on Saturday with sunny skies and then just an isolated afternoon shower or thunderstorm possible on Sunday. Otherwise, it'll stay sunny and hot with upper 90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 78 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 31% with winds out of the south at 13 miles per hour. We're getting some look at that. We actually got some rain situation going on right now. Get a little steady rain out there. So enjoy that while we got it. Yeah, I got a couple of people sending me texts saying it's raining at their house steady. I'm looking out my window. It looks like we got a steady little rain now. It was just sprinkling earlier, but I would say we got a full-on sprinkle shower going on right now in Roswell, New Mexico, at least downtown here. So drink it in. Enjoy it. But for today, sunny, hot, highs right around 99. Winds will be out of the south, 10 to 15 this morning, 15 to 20 later today. Pouring in my house now, too, according to my wife. So Yay! Rain. It's nice. Mostly clear tonight with an overnight low of 69 degrees. Southeast winds 15 to 20. They'll drop down 5 to 10 after midnight. Saturday, sunny and hot, high of 98. Southeast winds 5 to 10, 15 to 20 later in the afternoon tomorrow. For you Sunday, Juneteenth, sunny, hot, high of 98. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour, 15 to 20 later in the day. And then Sunday night, we start seeing some rain chances, 20% chance of showers. I guess these are official showers as opposed to the unofficial rain we're getting right now, which actually mine look like it's slowing up. Hopefully y'all keep going some more. But for Sunday night, the 20% chance of rain, partly cloudy, overnight low of 72. Monday, we're looking at a 40% chance of showers, mostly sunny and 97. 30% chance of rain for Monday night. And then rain chances keep continuing. 20% chance on Tuesday. They're talking a 20% on Wednesday and Thursday. So officially monsoon. Really, it looks like it's settled in next week with rain chances pretty much every day. So we'll see if we actually get some out of it. But yeah, enjoy this little unexpected rain visit for us this morning. We'll take it. All right, it is 7:20. We're going to take a 2-minute break to go run around in the rain. And then on the other side, we'll be back. And Jessica Steele with Score and Loveless going to join us on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
The blowout is on. The Honda Summer Blowout is on all month long at Roswell Honda with an amazing selection of sparkling new rides to choose from, like a 2017 Honda Accord for just $389 a month, a 2019 Ford EcoSport for just $349 a month, or a 2015 Chrysler 200 for just $249 a month. Zero down, no payments till September, and 0% financing available. And if you've ever thought about trading up, now is the best time. Your current vehicle has never been worth more. And bring in your mailer for a chance to win big. The blowout is on all month long at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Buying a sewing machine from a big box store or online might seem like a bargain, but in this case, you really do get what you pay for. Just the machine. No lessons, no help with figuring out why it isn't working the way you expect, and no one close to fix it. Buying locally from an authorized retailer may cost a little more, but in the end, it will save you time, money, and aggravation. Come see me, Chris Ann, at So Easy Sewing, 200 East College Boulevard in Roswell, and let me show you why it pays to shop local. So Easy Sewing. You've never had it so easy.
This is the moment you've been waiting for. You've convinced yourself it's warm enough to swim in your pool for the first time this season, even if the temperature still carries a hint of fading cold. Who cares? You've paid your winter dues. With hours inside and too much pie, it's time to open your pool. Barbecues, suntans, and games of Marco Polo. Here you come. The only question is, how ready is your pool? It has been waiting patiently for this day too, ready to make your neighbors drool. If you rely on BioGuard products, get ready to slap on some sunscreen and fire up the grill. Not only does BioGuard provide simple solutions, they also have expert dealers who can help you be the best pool owner you can be. Because when your eyes sparkle at the side of your pool, they should always return the favor. Visit your BioGuard dealer at Mays Lumber, 115 South Virginia in Roswell, and start the season off right.
We cut to order, special order, products old and new. You can count on Mays Lumber Company.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You burn more calories sleeping than you do watching television. For the ultimate workout, fall asleep in front of the TV. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 7 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from Loveless Regional Hospital and the Score Orthopedics part of Loveless there, Jessica Steele with us this morning. Good morning, ma'am. How you doing today?
Good morning. Great. Thank you.
So you're you do the help folks with everything from joint issues to sports related issues,
exactly,
or any bones, all that kind of
muscles,
that kind of stuff,
bones, joints, all that.
Good deal. So you that's a pretty broad, because you get everything from like probably kids and their little league injuries to adults and their stuff to even older folks that 20 years on that 20 plus years of running on that knee and things like that. Next thing you know, you start getting wear and tear, and maybe time to get some assistance to replace some of the parts that are worn out there. That's kind of your department there.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Good deal. So I'm very curious. What got you kind of leaning towards that side of medicine? What drew you to have that interest?
So I've always been interested in musculoskeletal care,
okay,
physical activity and physical education, and after PA school, that I knew that's the route that I wanted to go, to help people with their aches and pains and joints and muscles and bones.
Gotcha. I always, knock on wood, although I'm getting in that window of age where I might be needing to see more, because it's just life happens. Knees start hurting, hips start hurting, that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've been lucky and haven't had a whole lot of those issues, but I always hear that the real, like the science and the procedures, like you guys, like if there's a surgery involved or something to repair something, that's the relatively easy, the easy part of the surgery. Where the real difference is made is what happens afterwards.
Sure.
That's usually, and like anytime I hear someone that has like a horror story about a knee replacement or any of those kind of, it's always because generally they didn't follow the aftercare instructions of the medical professional here. The infection happens or the pain's not subsiding, and because 9 times out of 10, anytime there's a joint-related injury, once the part's been repaired, the follow-on is strengthening and rehabbing and getting that joint back to where it can do its job, as it should before. But it doesn't do that overnight. And if you don't do that work, you're going to have a lot of problems. But am I right? Is that really half the battle with most of the things you do in your line of work?
Yes, it can be very intense to do the rehab afterwards. And if there's ever any problem, you can always come see me in the orthopedic clinic, and we get it worked out and we get people taken care of.
Good deal. But my best advice to folks is when your medical professional says you need to be doing these, or hey, every day do these stretches or do these, these twists, and I know you're looking like, yeah, okay, whatever, but it is the difference between a quicker recovery and a more long, stressful one.
Yes,
it really
that's right.
does.
Listen to the experts. Yes.
Let's atypically, what do you see on a given day? Is it mostly, is it the gamut where you just see a lot of degenerative stuff, or is it kind of ebb and flow on what atypically you're seeing on a given day?
It does. We do see some degenerative stuff, some arthritis, aches and pains, like you said, and then a lot of acute things too, such as sprains, like ankle sprains, muscle strains, tennis elbow, fractures. We do fracture care there, so any sort of broken bones.
And I imagine, too, you're probably seeing a lot more of that now that where people are coming outside and doing things more, and, which is good. We want all that. But with that comes, the hike and trail, and they step on the rock and turn their ankle or whatever that happens.
Accidents happen in the summer. Absolutely. People are outside. They're very physically active, and accidents happen.
I guess one thing, because, obviously accidents, you can't control when you trip on a rock or do anything, but one thing I do know is, when you stretch and do a lot, like if you're going to do anything physical, especially when we get older, and I know we get older and you're like, wait a minute, I'm just going to walk around the block. I don't need to do a bunch of, but really doing that kind of stuff probably save you some trips to see you if you kind of do those things before you partake in any kind of exercise.
Yeah. Some pre-exercise stretching is always a good idea. And then if you have an injury, if it's painful for you, best advice is a little bit of rest, a little bit of ice, elevation, the old adage of rest, ice, compression, elevation. And if that doesn't help, then you can come see us.
Gotcha. I am also curious, how much of what you do is in your field hereditary stuff? Where, because obviously sports injuries, that's, but when we talk about, like, say, degeneration of joints and things, how much does family history come into play there, or is it more about lifestyle?
There is a component, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you could, there's a component of family history of bad joints, bad knees, bad ankles.
I didn't know if, like, hey, if your dad and your uncle and everybody have bad knees, odds are pretty good. When you hit a certain age, you're probably going to have those issues as well, too.
Yeah, that's true. Odds are pretty good that you will. But lifestyle is a big factor as well.
Sure. Well, yeah, obviously someone that's more active in things, if they're not doing the proper, stretching and things like that, and odds are they're probably going to have some issues. And conversely, for someone that's sedentary all the time, whenever you do some kind of physical activity, you're kind of overtaxing the areas because they're not used to doing that stuff.
That's right.
So if you do decide that you need to do some physical, it's all in moderation, and to avoid seeing Jessica here before you need to.
Yeah.
Do your stretching and things like that.
Yeah,
that way
that's
you don't
right.
have to say.
Do
and
your stretching.
It might actually be. How much of the for your day-to-day stuff is most of it the aftercare stuff, or is it a lot of? Because I imagine once people have their surgery things, there's a lot of follow-on. Depending on the level of it, there may be some rehab they have to do and things. Do they do that personally through you, or is that through one of the physical therapy people?
So post-surgical care, they do see me for follow-up, and then if someone needs physical therapy, they'll go to a physical therapy specialist.
So it just depends on the aftercare, whether it's all through you or whether through someone who does that stuff all day.
Yes,
kind
sir.
Of thing. Very good. And obviously, so if it's something, probably less invasive or less, cutting open type things, it's probably stuff you can handle right there. But
yes,
when you get to the point where you're going to surgery for repairing a joint or something, then you're going to go more than likely see the physical therapy folks, because that requires a lot of one-on-one and things like that to get that joint or whatever back to where it needs to be.
Yes, sir.
But I will tell you this. I know firsthand through my family and things, if you do follow the care and things like that, it does. And lifestyle comes into play. And I want to give an example with my grandmother. Now, this is a few years ago but my grandmother was, she was in her 70s, very healthy lady, but she drank milk. And I'm not trying to be, drink your milk, kids, but this lady drank milk every day, well into, as a lot of adults aren't drinking a glass. You know what I mean? It's not something common.
Right.
She did that. Well, in her mid-70s, she fell down the stairs and broke her hip.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And unfortunately, and this was back in the, late 80s, early 90s. So, and so back then there was even less. So it was not uncommon for breaking of a hip to literally be a death sentence for an elderly person.
Unfortunately.
And she made a full recovery in a very quick, she healed like a 25-year-old would heal as opposed to a 75-year-old would heal. And I don't, sure, I'm going to throw a little God and a little prayer in there, but the woman drank milk like it was going out of style. And I got to say that had to play
she
a
had
factor.
all her vitamin D and calcium. That's good.
I got to say that had to be a helpful part
Yeah.
in that recovery and things. So,
Good.
But please do not take that aftercare for granted. If the doctor tells you to run around, pat your head, rub your tummy, that's because they believe it's going to help you. Grab your head, pat your tummy, because it's, and I'm joking about that, but what I mean is, even though it sounds a little like, how could that even possibly? Because I've seen it, like if I've had a neck or like a shoulder strain, I'll see my family practice doctor, and it's not bad enough to see you, but it's something like, okay, is this something serious where I need to? And they're like, no, but here, do these stretches and do this, and after about a week, you're gonna see it go away. And I know you kind of look at it like, really? I went to you to tell me to do this, and then, but you do it, and you're like, okay, it actually, and I noticed, like, the days I kind of blew it off, I'm like, all right, still, but then I did it, and it was, so please, try, even if it sounds like, okay, how could that possibly help me, wiggling my finger or whatever it is.
Yes, or another big one is stopping smoking.
Yeah.
So that has a huge factor on how your bones and muscles and joints heal.
And I imagine most people don't think, because you think smoking, you think of all your lung and all those related, but in case you haven't noticed, your breathing is a very important delivery system to everything else in your body. You're breathing, that oxygen, it gets in your lungs, which takes it to your blood, which takes it to the rest of your body. So whatever you're putting in through that portal is sending it through everywhere else. And so I didn't really think about it, but I'm guessing that cigarette smoking really impacts the joint repair and that kind of stuff while you're rehabbing too, huh?
Absolutely.
Didn't think much about that. They don't really say that in the smoking videos. Usually it's, heart disease or insert any one of the many, many things that it can do to you. But most people don't say it slows down your rehab of bone and joint issues as well. Well, I didn't realize it had that much impact on everything too. So another tip there, quitting smoking if you're having, these knee issues and all that, that might be one of the contributing factors to some of that stuff.
Yes, sir.
How much does that, is there other, how much does food come into play on some of that joint? Is that a big factor too at some point, or can be?
Well, it's important to have good nutrition, absolutely,
Sure.
especially if you're looking at stress fractures or other fractures. It's a good idea to have calcium and vitamin D and good nutrition all the way around. As far as supplements, I don't think the research quite supports too much of that yet.
Gotcha.
But if it doesn't hurt, I'm a big proponent. I tell my patients,
Sure.
if it feels better, you can go ahead and take it.
Gotcha. Well, and whenever you get in the vitamin and supplement world, it's you have to be careful because sure, there's some benefits there, but a lot of it's marketing, a lot of it's wasteful needs, and to be honest, if you just at the end of the day really pay attention to your food intake and what you do, you could probably get most of those nutrients through your diet. If obviously if you're like, well, I hate X, and that's a good source of vitamin D or C or whatever, then maybe you should find another way to get that. But for the most part, eating the right foods and things will probably give you enough nutrients for your body to do what it needs to do. And the other stuff might be like you always hear jokes like, well, yeah, you're eating all them vitamins, it's just making your pee expensive.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
And in some cases that is, some does not. But at the end of the day, if you really want to try something like that, Jessica, your healthcare professional, those are the ones you need to talk to, especially the people that are prescribing you whatever prescription meds you're taking.
Absolutely.
Because anytime you decide you want to take something over the counter like that, you need to talk to the doctor because it may counteract or create a bigger medical issue with what you're currently taking. Like especially if you're dealing with diabetes or high blood pressure or those multiple cholesterol. A lot of times some people are taking all those pills and they decide a vitamin or something and that kind of counteracts what they're doing for those things. So that's why you need to talk to your doctors and healthcare professionals about that kind of stuff.
Yes, ask your healthcare provider.
I mean, obviously some stuff you're kind of like, all right, yeah, it's probably safe. But a quick phone call, say, look, I want to take this, is that a good idea or is there another way I can do it? And like you said, if you're going to say, yeah, actually, that's probably pretty good. Yeah, I'd recommend that. Or you know what? Because you're taking this, I would stay away from that. But in its place, I'd do this. And that's where you can help them. But I know we're talking bones and joints, but that really does impact all of that, too.
Oh, absolutely.
If you don't.
Yeah.
Do you deal with a lot of the sports, like injuries and stuff like that? Is that pretty common?
Yeah, we sure do. Absolutely. Strains, sprains. A lot of that happens more often in the summer when people are outside. They're gardening and they're down on their knees or they're working or they're, like you said, Little League or something like that. We absolutely deal with a lot of that.
I'm kind of curious with the degenerative stuff. Is it how much of it, because it's some of it's just life. You know what I mean? It's going to happen. We can't avoid it regardless. Sure, we'd love to slow it down. But when it comes to seeing you for that, is it a lot of technique and a lot of things to do to kind of slow down that process? Or is there things you can actually do to kind of stop or reverse some of that? Or that's the battle we're going to lose at one point no matter what, because everybody gets older and that's just what happens. How much of that is stuff you can either slow down greatly or even prevent?
So physical activity is always good. I know with degenerative joint disease, physical activity can sometimes hurt because people can have, bone-on-bone arthritis. But physical activity is always a good idea. It's important to do low-impact physical activity. And then at the orthopedic clinic, there are several different treatment options, be it medical, be it equipment that you could use, or surgery.
But it's really, the exercising, it strengthens and keeps it from degenerating. So it's kind of like, think of it like a car. Like if you just leave the car sitting in your driveway for a long time and don't mess with it, at some point it's not going to start.
That's
or nothing,
right. That's right.
Same thing with them joints and stuff. If they're sedentary and then when you decide you want to use them, they're like, hey, I don't, and they start barking at you.
That's right. Yeah.
And so it's kind of like that. It's if you don't use it, you lose it kind of mentality on some of this stuff. So really, the best way to combat that is to take you walks, do you things to keep those muscles and joints strengthened. So, as you get older, there's more there to keep you going and stuff, rather than you not utilizing it, depleting it, and then making it so weak that when it is to that point, it's really hard to regenerate it without replacing the entire joint or getting to the point where they're cutting you open and doing a major surgery on you. So,
right. Yeah, you're exactly right.
good deal. So, generally speaking, when people are dealing with the degenerative stuff, knee, hip, joint, is there a optimal time to kind of, if someone in their 40s, is it too early to be thinking about that? Or is that really the sweet spot? Like, when's that time you really should be kind of saying, this is that time in my life I really need to be more cognizant of some of these issues?
So as far as optimal time goes, I can't think of, an optimal time where you need to say, okay, it's time to go in.
Okay.
It's all determined by your pain level, your personal pain level, because people can go and go and go until they're 70, 80 years old without pain sometimes. And then sometimes people just have painful knees at 40, and maybe that's where hereditary factors play in, or lifestyle, or, the type of work you do.
And I was, also thinking too, even if you are a athletic type, if you're not doing your aftercares and things properly, it probably speeds up that process. It's kind of like NFL football players. You look at running backs, and the average running back has got 5 years in it because they get beat up so bad.
Yeah.
But like their knees and things. So, but obviously these are peak physical shape people. They're working out constantly and everything else. But if you're taking that much punishment, then odds are you're probably going to have more pain in your 40 than the person that wasn't getting tackled by 10 people.
That's right.
Every play for 10, So it's kind of that sweet spot. It's like, you want to use an act, but if you're overusing and abusing it for years, you're going to have just as much problem as the person who didn't do anything.
Yeah, a lot of people have an injury and then they like to ignore it and wait for it to go away rather than seek medical care. And it's important to come in and just have somebody take a look.
Sure. You talk like professionals, especially like football, and you hear about the athletes 10 years later and you see them and things. Granted, they talk a lot in the concussion world and all that, but how many of those guys, they can't move because their back's stowed up or their knee no longer bends as full, or you look at their hand. You ever seen like a lineman's hand? And they usually have fingers that are pointed in 6 different directions and everything else. And it's a lot of what you're talking about here. They've been doing this day in and day out and not getting the time for it to heal and care because they're getting paid millions of dollars. And what do you mean you're out because of a broken finger? Put a piece of tape on that and get it back in there. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that mindset. Now, most of us aren't dealing with that because we're not NFL players, but it's kind of an example of, take care of yourself,
Right.
Even if you are that physically, if you're not doing your stretching and if you're not doing your cool downs, if you're not dealing with the aches and pains in a proper way as you come, when you hit your 40s and those later years in life, you're going to be wishing you did that kind of thing because you're going to be the one with the degenerative knee and joint issues because you work hard, you play hard, you're going to need to recoup hard too.
That's right. And we may not have a lot of major athletes out here, but we have a lot of hard workers that do get back into work before they should maybe. And so...
Well, it's the human mindset. We don't like to be limited. We don't like to be told we can't do something.
That's right.
So you're going to, at the detriment of your own personal health and safety, go to do that to prove that you can do that. And I get it. We're all boneheaded. We all have a little thing in us that does it. I don't care who you are, where you come from. When someone tells you can't do it, we all have that little bit of, watch me.
That's right.
And which is great for humanity, but sometimes bad for your knees. So, and I would even say for you younger high school and those that are playing high school sports right now, be cognizant of that. I know you're young and work hard, but you got a lot of years left on those knees and things like that. And I would hate for you to ruin that for you when you're 16, 17, 18. And because trust me, when you're 35, you're going to be regretting that decision.
Yes, don't ignore it because it will catch up with you.
So please, when your coaches and everybody telling you to do your cool downs and your stretches, take all of that stuff seriously. Trust me, your 35-year-old self will thank you very much if you do it.
That's right. That's right.
Of course, for your stuff, they can come and see you direct. I know a lot of times people go to their primary care physician, especially if they got a knee joint or, hey, my knee's killing me, doc, and then they may come, say, well, you need to go see Jessica over at SCORE, and then she can go. But you don't have to do that. If you've got knee pain or whatever, you can cut out the middle person, so to speak, and cut out your primary care and call the SCORE office direct and say, look, I got some knee pain or joint pain. I would like to set up an appointment to see what we can do about it, and they'll be happy to do that.
That's right. And most days you can get a same-day appointment.
Good deal. So you can get it in quick. And so if you call, say, like this morning, and say, yeah, my back's been killing me. I need to get it looked at. And Jessica and her staff say, well, come on in at 1 o'clock today. We'll get you looked at and start you on the road there. And then obviously if it's something serious, then the trail to get that done goes. But if it's something as simple as, you tweaked a little bit, some rest, some stretching, some ibuprofen or whatever,
right,
we'll take care of that thing there. And that's another thing I do want to talk to you a little bit about, because we do live in this world of pain meds and all of that stuff. How much in your line of work have they altered philosophies on that? Because I imagine in your world, sure, the pain meds and things, the knee pain, and that's very much part of it. Has the philosophy changed a little bit and stuff, like because doctors and medical personnel constantly, that's changing. Did the philosophy and they say, hey, you need to, let's steer away from here, instead go here. Has that been kind of the lay of the land in your world, or is it a case-by-case basis type thing still?
Well, yes, the overall philosophy has changed over the last few years. As you know, there's a major opioid epidemic, and so...
But there is, don't get me wrong, certain surgeries, certain things, if you need the Percocet or whatever the latest one is, please do. It's with moderation and everything else, and please be but like we said here, but we also got to a point where doctors were saying, because at the end of the day, it's all about customer service and everything else.
Absolutely.
Patients come in, my knee hurts, and they just, okay, here's your Percocet, and they're like, thank you, and then they go away. And we're learning, there's a big problem by doing that. So, that's kind of where we're at now. So I was just curious if they kind of, in the big world, it's like, okay, instead of normally saying, let's do this, let's feed them into the more of the rehab type stuff, stretching and working those things moderately to build them up, not to mask a pain that could be telling you something more important.
Right, and we're looking at better medicines to treat pain, inflammation, like you said, rather than just masking it. We want to make sure we take care of it and get it treated appropriately. So
it's better science, it's better medicine, and that's a good thing. And we all need to remember that life is like we learn. We get, being a doctor in 1960 is not the same thing as being a doctor in 2022. It just isn't. It's night and day different. I'd even wonder if a doctor from 1960 come in and be like, what do we even, there might be things that are just a foreign language to that person at this point, because so much has changed in that time period. So,
that's right.
But that's true in everything in life. It doesn't matter. If anything, take whatever you're fooling with now, your cell phone, your car, whatever it is in your hand right now. There was about 20 versions of that thing that stunk before you got to that one.
That's right.
And that's just, but it's no true in medicine, everything else. It's trial and error. And so how they did a knee replacement in 1980 is not how they do a knee replacement in 2022. It's, so even like the stories you hear, if you're talking to someone that had a knee replacement like 5-10 years ago, it's a little different than it is today. As science and technology, and I don't know if it's the whole nanotechnology or all that world, but they're less invasive for surgeries. They can do things with needles and cameras instead of knives and scalpels and saws and things now. It's a whole...
Right. There's been a lot of advancement.
And with all of that comes better, aftercare, better results, better everything. So,
exactly.
So please don't ignore these things. Get them done. And I'm guessing your line of work is probably some of the most painful for your patients, but also in terms of stubborn and getting looked at, the most highest end of that too, because especially when you get older folks and they got knee pain and they don't want to look at it because of the other things. Well, I got to take care of this person. I got the grandkids. And by the time all that happens, they're so stowed up they can't move anymore. And so don't be that martyr. Don't be the person that takes care of everybody else and don't have your own medical needs looked at, especially if it's something mobility related or dealing with your physicality of moving and things like that. You want to keep helping your family and friends, you're going to need that to do that. So if you don't take care of yourself. So please don't ignore those nagging knee pains and things like that. If you notice that your knees hurt every time you go up and down the steps and it doesn't feel just normal, maybe it's time to get that looked at. And at the very least, Jessica could be like, you know what? It's just part of getting older. Just do a little stretching and maybe, mindful of it. It's just part of life. Or maybe it's, you know what? We've got some ligament damage here. Maybe we can do some repairs and things, and you're back to normal.
Yes, yes, you're right.
Either way, don't ignore those things. Get them looked at, and don't even automatically chalk it up as you're getting old too. Because I know a lot of us and I'm guilty of it too, You get up and your back like, ooh, that sucks being old, You move on about your day. If you're regularly seeing that kind of stuff, maybe it's not an old thing. Maybe you tweaked it or maybe you didn't. Yeah. Something just happened there.
Well, and there's options. When you come to the clinic, we have all different options to help you get back to living your life, doing the things you want to do, get back to sports, get back to your morning walks, whatever it may be that you want to do,
And here's the thing, we don't realize how out of sorts we get when we don't do those little things in our part. Like if part of your day is to take that walk after breakfast or whatever it is, when you can't do that anymore, you don't realize how much it messes up your life and even changes your mindset a little bit, where you're a little bit crankier, just a little bit like, oh, great, now what? Because you get your walk. You didn't get, your routine. So don't ignore those things. Make your life happy. And like I said earlier, you don't have to, you can get an appointment direct. You don't have to go through a primary care or get a referral. Just call the SCORE office direct, 575-625-3300. Again, that's 575-625-3300. 3300. Call, schedule appointment, and like Jessica was saying earlier, you might be able to get in today. Like you call right now, or I think what's the office open today?
8 a.m.
So here in about 5-10 minutes, give them a call, and then they can probably maybe get you in later today, depending on what they've got going on here. But if you're dealing with sports industry, sprains, things like that, do you guys do any of the sports physicals and things, or is that more primary care physician stuff?
That's more primary care.
Okay, so but if you get your sports physical and they find something not quite right there, then you can go get an appointment with Jessica here and get that fixed.
Absolutely.
So, good deal. Again, that phone number is 575-625-3300. So is there anything we missed? Is there anything... Did we get it all?
You covered a lot, yeah.
Good deal. And then some. Well, very good. Well, you're actually one of the few people that I hope if someone needs it, they come see you. But at the end of the point, I hope they don't need to see you very often.
I know. I hear it a lot, yeah.
Very good. Well, I'm sure you got a few people waiting for them to have you take a look at them. So we'll let you get back to the office.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Have a great weekend, and welcome to Roswell. Like I said, she's only been here since about the beginning of the year here.
That's right, yeah.
So where did you come from originally?
Georgia.
Oh, wow. This is a big
I moved from North
change.
Georgia.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Maryland initially, so I know about East Coast.
You're out on the East. Yeah, okay.
Well, it is truly a dry heat, and it is a difference. I know how Georgia stinks, too, when it gets July in Georgia. You don't want to be anywhere near it either.
Oh, yeah.
But it is a little bit better. You get used to it. I've been here since 2000. Well, 96, actually, with military. But so I've lost my ability to get humidity.
Yeah.
But still, I'm like, don't get me wrong. Their line's like, oh, it's 110. Shut up, it's hot. I don't care what it is.
I know.
But yeah, you do appreciate the fact that you can go outside at night or find a tree and be shady and be cooler. So
yes, sir.
That doesn't happen in Georgia. It just doesn't work that way. So, but thank you. Appreciate it, Jessica. It is 7:53. Let's pause for some news and a quick break before more news. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Now your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. Artesia General Hospital is adding a new Fuji Scenario View 128 CT scanner, which is now available for patient imaging immediately. Construction is underway for a state-of-the-art suite that will house the new equipment and offer the latest in CT technologies to patients. But until the building is finished in October, the new scanner will be housed temporarily in a mobile unit. That will allow the hospital to begin offering improved CT scans to patients immediately. A total of 164 deer and 5 youth-only pronghorn licenses that were not issued during the annual big game draw will go on sale on June 29th at 10 a.m. Mountain Time through the department's online license system. New Mexico residents will get first shot at the licenses for the first 24 hours of the first-come, first-served sale. If any licenses are left after the first 24 hours, the sale will be opened to non-residents on June 30th. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
There was a lot of tough talk at Twitter yesterday. Elon Musk had an all-hands-on employee meeting, but it sounded more like a rowdy middle school. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by SimpliSafe. Get a free indoor security camera plus 20% off with interactive monitoring at simplysafekim.com. Twitter employees have already heard that Elon Musk ordered all Tesla employees back to the office, 40 hours a week at a minimum, or else. Naturally, that was the main question here. Elon Musk says that exceptional employees might be allowed to work from home. Well, he was then flooded with memes from thousands of employees showing how exceptional each one thinks that they are. And what about layoffs? Musk gave no assurances. Twitter is losing money. Musk says that a successful Twitter must have at least 1 billion users, not the questionable 230 million they have now. The big takeaway? Elon Musk says that if it's legal to say, Twitter users should be able to say it. Are you listening, Donald Trump? I post breaking tech news at commando.com. Using the internet without ExpressVPN is like walking your dog in public without a leash. Most of the time, you'll probably be fine. But what if one day your dog runs away or gets dog nabbed? It's always better to be careful, especially with as simple as using ExpressVPN. Every time you connect to an unencrypted network in cafes, hotels, airports, etc., your online data is not secured. Any hacker on the same network can gain access to and steal your personal data. But ExpressVPN creates a secure encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet, so they can't. It'll take a hacker with a supercomputer over 1 billion years to get past ExpressVPN's encryption. Plus, it works on all your devices, phone, laptop, tablet, even on your smart TV. Just fire up the ExpressVPN app and click one button to get connected. Visit expressvpn.com/Kim to get 3 months free on a 1-year package. That's expressvpn.com/Kim, expressvpn.com/Kim.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty hot today. We'll be in the upper 90s for the afternoon high and a little bit breezy. Lots of sunshine for the overnight hours. Clear and mid-60s to low 70s. We'll hit the 100-degree mark on Saturday with sunny skies and then just an isolated afternoon shower or thunderstorm possible on Sunday. Otherwise, it'll stay sunny and hot with upper 90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. President Biden told the Associated Press on Thursday that the American people are really, really down after a tumultuous 2 years with the coronavirus pandemic, volatility in the economy, and now surging gasoline prices that are slamming family budgets. He said a recession is not inevitable and bristled at claims by Republican lawmakers that last year's COVID-19 aid plan was fully to blame for inflation reaching a 40-year high. Revlon, the cosmetics maker that broke racial barriers and dictated beauty trends for much of the last century, has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. The company has been a mainstay on the store shelves since its founding 90 years ago in New York City, as it oversaw a stable of household names like Elizabeth Arden. Average gas prices in Los Angeles, $6.46 a gallon, and $5.20 a gallon in New York. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
This lot is hot. The summer of savings is on now at Roswell Nissan with scorching savings on a fresh lineup of amazing vehicles like a 2016 Nissan Altima for just $319 a month, a 2015 GMC Terrain for just $269 a month, or a 2016 Jeep Cherokee for just $209 a month. Get a Mexico resort vacation or Apex Cinema movie ticket just for stopping by, an Apex Cinema gift card with any test drive, and your choice of splash pad with purchase. And register to win a trampoline basketball hoop combo to be given away June 18th at 1 p.m. The summer of savings on now at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
In times of uncertainty, one thing seems to be constant: crime tends to rise. Zenith Security Services, a locally owned company that's invested in our community, reminds you that for less than 5 quarters a day, you can be proactive in protecting your home, family, and assets with a monitored alarm from a top UL-rated company. The hardest calls we receive at Zenith Security are those needing our services after the fact. Call Zenith Security Services at 575-626-3521 to schedule your free security assessment today.
Good morning. Start your day with breakfast from the Valley Cafe. Try the Breckwich, full or half, with sausage, crispy bacon, fluffy eggs, pepper jack cheese, and maple Dijon spread, all served on a toasted sourdough. Or their breakfast burritos with your choice of sausage, bacon, or both, perfect to grab and go. You aren't dreaming. The Valley Cafe, open 7 a.m. The Orange Building across from Church on the Move, 801 Brasher in Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. A group of 12 or more cows is called a flink. If you have only 11 cows, that's called a lot of cow pies. Here's Mike Winters.
And we're closing in on 8 o'clock. Stay tuned next hour. Vicki Thomas with ENMUR going to join us talking about kids' college. That's up next. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Saying it takes all threats seriously, the FBI announces it's investigating a series of attacks and threats targeting pro-life pregnancy centers and faith-based organizations across the country. The Bureau is asking anyone with information on attacks or potential threats to get in touch with local law enforcement or the nearest FBI field office. President Biden has signed a bill expanding security protection to the families of U.S. Supreme Court justices. Alabama's governor says it's something that should never happen anywhere, especially in a church. Governor Kay Ivey reacting to last evening's deadly shooting in an Episcopal church south of Birmingham. Police say 2 people were killed, a 3rd person wounded.
I do want to reiterate to you that the suspect involved in this event is in custody, and that we know of no additional threats to either the community of Vestavia Hills or neighboring community of Mountain Brook.
Vestavia Hills Police Captain Shane Ware heard on WBMA. Some serious accusations leveled against former President Trump at the latest round of hearings of the House January 6th committee.
Some of the harshest words coming from Trump critic Republican Liz Cheney.
President Trump knew that his claims of a stolen election were false.
Democrat Pete Aguilar of California says the president just couldn't bring himself to allow a peaceful transfer of power.
So he latched on to a scheme that once again he knew was illegal.
But former Republican presidential candidate Gary Bauer says the panel itself is coloring far outside the lines.
The committee is a joke. It's a violation of congressional rules. It really is not a joint committee. It's a kangaroo court.
More hearings are set for Tuesday and Thursday of next week. Bob Agnew reporting.
Watching Wall Street, the Dow is up 126 points. The NASDAQ 148 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Are you kidding me? Gas prices are up again? Somebody has to do something.
Well, someone did. That's why I use Upside.
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that pays you back real money for every gallon of gas or diesel you buy. I just earned 25 cents back on every gallon of this tank.
Hold on. So the Upside app is free and you actually get cash back every time you use it? No strings attached?
Yep, it's awesome. Check it out. It only takes a couple of minutes to sign up.
Instead of just watching your dollars go into your tank, start putting money back into your wallet with the free app from Upside. With the price of gas today, it's big news and big money. To cash out of your Upside cash, just transfer it to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card. Upside users have already earned over $200 million. Now it's your turn. Download the free Upside app and start getting cash back on every gallon of gas. Use promo code SALEM for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back in your first fill-up. That's promo code SALEM. Remember, use promo code SALEM for an extra 25 cents per gallon back in your first fill-up.
The World Trade Organization Director General says a series of trade deals has been struck during marathon talks in Geneva.
There were cheers from representatives of the 164 WTO countries as this package of trade agreements was tied up in the small hours of Friday, 2 nights after the forum had been due to end. The main deals seek to tackle food insecurity, limit subsidies that encourage harmful overfishing, and suspend patents for COVID vaccines. Talks on protecting world fish stocks have been going on for over 2 decades. Ms. Okonjo-Iweala said the new deals would make a difference to people around the world. There was more work to do, and the trade body was capable of doing it.
The BBC's Charles Haviland. Israeli forces have shot dead 3 Palestinians, wounded 8 others during a military operation in the West Bank town of Jenin. The word from the Palestinian Health Ministry confirmed by the military, which says its troops traded fire with terrorists. News and analysis at townhall.com. Argentine authorities tell an Iranian crewed jetliner, "You're grounded."
Israel's praising the move, saying the flight shows Tehran's trying to expand its influence in South America. The embassy says it's particularly worried about Iranian airlines dedicated to arms trafficking and the transfer of people and equipment for the Quds Force, which are under sanctions by the United States for being involved in terrorist activities. Washington's also keeping close tabs on the investigation into the Boeing 747, which was loaded with automotive parts and raised questions because its 19 crew members is an unusually large number for a cargo plane. Rhonda Rockstra reporting.
The Golden State Warriors, NBA champions once again, topping the Boston Celtics 103-90 for their 4th title in the last 8 seasons. Stephen Curry scoring 34 points for the Warriors, who claim the franchise's 7th championship overall. Once again on Wall Street, the Dow is up 128 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2
The Deuce
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Buenos viernes, everybody.
See.
Happy Friday to you.
Yes, sir.
We made it. It was raining earlier.
Boy.
That was kind of nice. Not so much now here, at least.
Yeah.
My wife said they got, she got a pouring at the house.
Really?
And Andrew said it was raining steady at her place. I look in the alley, and we got Pond Day Roswell back into the alley again, like we do when it rains.
Okay, nice.
So, we got enough to make Pond Day Roswell in the alley there.
You got to take what you can get.
Exactly.
These days, it's little 45-second rain spurts.
Go out there and do a little fishing here in a little bit.
That's right. Catch me some tadpoles.
Catch me a stone perch or something.
What'd you get? Bait. I got bait.
I caught a. What is this? It looks like a tater tot and somebody's sock.
If you catch bait, isn't that kind of like a coupon for fishing?
Kind of is.
You don't have to pay for it, so it's like a discount.
Well, I've seen like Deadly's Catch enough to know, like, you know how sometimes, I'm sure everyone's at least seen one episode of Deadly's Catch in their life. It's been on for 100 years now. But you know, like they pull the crab pot out and like sometimes there's nothing in there but like a fish flopping around.
Right.
That's bait as far as I'm looking.
Well,
you know?
yeah, but are crabs attracted to fish?
Yeah, dead ones.
So I wasn't sure if are crabs carnivorous. I always thought they just kind of. Well, I mean,
crabs are scavengers.
I figured they eat like bottom feeders, so they eat like shrimp. They eat like
they're scavengers.
Mollusks.
They trash. They eat the stuff that goes to the bottom, dead fish, dead stuff that ends up that they eat. They're the cleanup crew. That's what crabs, the crustaceans and things, catfish. They're all cleanup crew, and so yeah, they eat the stuff that rots and drops to the bottom.
That's what really makes that meat sing.
There you go. It's what makes the mustard in there really tasty.
God, I hate when you talk about the mustard.
The mustard.
That's so gross.
Drink it in.
I hate how you're so comfortable with the idea of the mustard, but the idea of what I pitched yesterday, you were like, I don't know, man.
I know.
So what
one I've basically had since I was, up to my knees here.
Mm-hmm.
And the other I have not. So if you've been doing it your whole life, why does it bug you?
I guess. But so what I pitched yesterday to Mike, and this is something I found on the internet. I have to try this. And I want to do it on this medium because there's a camera here.
Yes.
So there's a yoga instructor that told this lady on TikTok to try something called Healthy Coke.
Yeah. I'm going to try it. Don't get me wrong, but. Yeah, I know what's in the mustard. I don't know what I'm getting here.
But you do. So what it is...
But do I? Because I don't like both of those ingredients, and then you're going to tell me you put them together to make something I like.
Now,
I question it.
I'm not a huge fan of LaCroix. Okay, so here's what it is.
Yeah.
You take a regular tumbler cup, whiskey glass, whatever. You put a little ice in it. You put about a shot glass worth of balsamic vinegar.
Mm-hmm.
Just about a shot worth on the bottom. And then you, to the top of the glass... fill it with whatever flavor of LaCroix. Now, the one they used in the example video was lemon.
Okay.
I'm not a huge fan of LaCroix myself. I'm not a fan
I
of
think
sparkling.
I would, if I'm going to go with a flavor, it's probably going to be cherry or something like that.
Okay. But the one they used was lemon, and she mixed it up. And I'm not sure if it was the combination of the lemon and that, but she said it's not Coke, but it's not Coke, is what she said. But
that does not strengthen my confidence.
But then, because by mistake, when she first went to the store, she accidentally got balsamic glaze instead of balsamic vinegar.
Okay.
So then she tried it with balsamic glaze, no vinegar, just the glaze. She just put about a good squirt worth on top of the ice, and then filled the rest of it with the LaCroix, stirred it up, and she said that knocked it up to where it was almost you couldn't even tell the difference. So
I'm willing to do it. I'm trying it.
Oh no, you're gonna try it.
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
You're not a big fan of lemon. Let's get 3 flavors of LaCroix.
Different kinds and try it out.
A cherry one, maybe a citrusy one.
I feel like we need to have a lemon just so we can have the control.
Yeah, so get something fruity, something citrusy, and I don't know. You pick the third.
Okay.
And when I say fruity, I mean like a cherry, watermelon-y, something in that vein. And then a lemon, lime, orange.
Maybe something more exotic, like a melon.
Yeah, and then maybe a kiwi or what dragon fruit or whatever they're into now. So, I have no idea.
One of these days, I'm going to hopefully make that happen. So we're going to have the Healthy Coke Challenge to see.
Maybe we can do something in a week or two. Maybe when you get back from Vejas.
Yes.
We can do that. So, because you'll be doing the Vejas thing later next week.
Assuming I come back from Vegas.
This is true.
I have a real bad feeling that the mob's going to take me up,
lots of holes in the desert.
We're apparently
casino. I know
we're
how that
going
works.
to the mob museum.
It's I've seen pictures and everything. It looks great. I'm
curious.
Totally excited.
But here's the thing: I'm not super into now.
See, I am.
I like
I would
it.
love this.
I like it. I'm just not super into the mob stuff.
I do. I'm into that. I love. I'm not going to lie. I have no desire to go to Reno, except I kind of want to go to Reno to that casino, wherever the Bonnie and Clyde car is.
Oh yeah.
Just to see the Bonnie and Clyde car. I've seen pictures. I've never seen it. I've seen the Bonnie and Clyde car from the movie that's sitting in the Spy Museum, or not museum, Spy Museum, the Criminal Museum in D.C.
Okay.
That came to a little after the Spy Museum. But they've got, and that's the 70s Bonnie and Clyde movie with, what's his name? I keep wanting to say Dustin Hoffman. It's not Dustin Hoffman. It's Annette Bening's, what is...
I honestly can't remember.
What is his name?
I don't think I've ever seen this one.
Bulworth, he's a huge star. His name just went right out of my head. He was Dick Tracy.
Hold on.
His name just went right out of my head. I know everyone's yelling at their radio right now, and I can't remember. I keep wanting to say Dustin Hoffman. It's not Dustin Hoffman. It's this is driving me nuts.
Give me a second. Warren Beatty?
Warren Beatty. Thank you. That's the name I was trying. But it was the Bonnie and Clyde with Warren Beatty in the 70s or whenever that
Faye
came out.
Dunaway?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That car is in there. And which looks like the car, but it's not the car. And then the actual Bonnie and Clyde car, last I heard, was in a casino museum in Reno somewhere.
Oh, cool.
So I've never been to Reno, but I'm like, I kind of want to go there just to see this car.
I don't want to go to Reno because even the show based on Reno wasn't filmed in Reno. So there's got to be just nothing going on. Although I would love to go see...
No, Reno's like a little version of Vegas.
Yeah, it's the biggest little city in the world.
Yeah.
I would love to go find tacos.
And see, you're a little too young to remember.
Stop myself from shouting an expletive right there.
Yeah, you're a little too young to remember the Diners Club Telly Savalas stuff. That was
the Who Loves You Baby thing, or
that was Kojak.
Okay, right, but did he work that into like all his ad campaigns?
He did. But one of the big things he promoted in late 70s, early 80s was Diners Club.
The Diners Club card.
And he would sit there in his and if I remember right, the commercials were literally like a black screen behind him with Telly and all his baldness in the suit, and he's doing that "Who Loves You, Baby?" But hey, Diners Club, you get the Lake Tahoe, Reno, the Catskills. I mean, he's just throwing out all these places you go with your Diners Club, but it's always places like Reno, and so whenever I think of Reno and all that, all I think of is Telly Savalas and Diners Club stuff.
The Catskills.
But yeah, that was late 70s, early 80s when he did all that. Yeah, I think that was right before you started getting old enough to pay more attention to TV.
Every time I hear the word Catskills, all I can ever think of is the absolute cringiest era in stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
The Catskills comedy era.
You know,
the Take My Wife Please era.
You know what, though? It's actually kind of neat. There's something I will recommend you check out. It's not the most exciting thing, but it's kind of interesting. Okay. On Amazon Prime, there is a documentary, and it's basically the Catskills. It's all about those Jewish summer vacation camps up in the Catskills that many, and this is where it all came from. These New York City folks.
Yeah.
Most of them were Jewish.
Right.
They would go to the Catskills. They had literally like summer camp. And it was a vacation resort where they'd stay in these nice houses, but they go on the lake and they go canoeing and paddleboarding and tennis and all the stuff you do at like camp.
Right.
But it was like a ritzy version of it. And so they would have like fancier dinners and stuff at the lodge or whatever, depending. There was different Catskill resorts. Each one had their own deals. But they would draw these big name entertainers, your Don Rickles, your Sinatras and all these type people.
But from what I understand, since they were working the Jewish rooms, they usually worked cleaner. They usually worked a lot more. It was a lot more like cringy.
A little bit, but some, I think they had a couple after hours stuff, where they could get a little more blue.
Sure.
But for many of these folks, that's where they earned their chops. That's where they kind of got their Hollywood, chutzpah, so to speak. And then go, but they're starting in it. But it's an interesting documentary.
I'm curious to check it
learn.
out.
And guys like Seinfeld, even, and some of those guys, even the more newer generation that were kind of in the declining years of the Catskills resorts and things.
That's the other term they use for it, the Borscht Belt.
Yeah. It's actually
the Jewish Alps. Yeah,
it was kind of an interesting little documentary I watched, but it's on Amazon Prime.
Trying to find some of the more famous names. Eddie Schaefer. Let's see, the Yiddish Theater. Oof. Let's see, Woody Allen. Okay.
Yeah, I would say they had big names.
Milton Berle.
Yeah, they had huge names that went
Shelley
through there.
Berman, Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
Lenny Bruce. Wow.
I'm telling you,
Red Button, Sid Caesar.
It was a big deal. It was way bigger than you realize.
Phyllis Diller.
The Catskills were kind of like
Getty. Wow.
Yeah, it was almost like you would think of like Nashville now, or like these little entertainment hotspots. But for them, it was lounge and stand-up comic and nightclub type stuff.
Shecky Green.
Yeah,
that's great.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of history there in those Catskill deals there. So that documentary is worth a check out.
I'm curious.
I kind of, especially you being a connoisseur of comedy and the history of.
I'm also fascinated
like
by like the way people vacationed in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
Like I always see those videos where it's like the older women wearing like the shorts, short sleeve shirt, full body, bathing suit combo. In like the swim caps.
Yeah.
I'm always kind of fascinated by that.
Well, and that's that, man. I'm telling you, you're going to watch the documentary and it's going to give you all the little things that you're feeling here.
I'm curious.
Because it's very much in that vein. I just stumbled upon it a couple months ago and watched it when I was bored one day.
I started looking at more
TV.
documentaries on places.
This is
really good ones lately.
I usually stumble into I stumble into a lot of bad stuff that I don't talk about. But every once in a while I stumble into some good stuff and I'm like, yeah, that was kind of neat. I appreciated that. Me doing my dig, and I would have never found that if I didn't dig around a little bit. But don't get me wrong, I've hit a lot of snooze fit. If you look at my list, there's a lot of stuff. Finish watching. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. That was bad. No.
That's the difference between you and me.
Yeah.
I can't take that initial plunge. If I don't feel like I'm going to enjoy something right off the bat, I'm not going to dive in.
I'm always intrigued about the subject matter. how they present it is where I get, like, if I get to it and they're not doing it in a way that is attracting to me,
sure,
then I'm out. But I'm always curious about, like, John Wayne Gacy. I mean, yeah, why do I want to watch a thing about a serial killer? But at the same time, I'm oddly curious on how a guy who was, let's face it, in many circles looked at as just a normal neighborhood dude.
Mm-hmm.
And then you find out he's burying people in his basement and all this other. To me, how does that happen? And I'm fascinated by that. So I end up tuning in just to see if I can peel the curtain back and understand, not condoning it, or
spot mannerisms that you see in these people and other people.
At
the office.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, all right, Mr. Gacy, I see. You like the clown thing, huh? All right. Yeah.
Do you just eat a whole raw egg?
Yeah.
I'm just saying that.
But yeah, I'm a people watcher.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? I like to watch people. All right, Vicky's been waiting patiently in there, listening to me talk about the Catskills. I'm sure she's excited about that. It is 19 minutes after 8 o'clock. Let's get you up to date with the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty hot today. We'll be in the upper 90s for the afternoon high and a little bit breezy. Lots of sunshine for the overnight hours. Clear and mid 60s to low 70s. We'll hit the 100-degree mark on Saturday with sunny skies and then just an isolated afternoon shower or thunderstorm possible on Sunday. Otherwise, it'll stay sunny and hot with upper 90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 71 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 66%. Winds currently out of the southeast at 3 miles per hour. We got a little sprinklings this morning. It's done here. Hopefully in some areas of the radio audience here, it's still sprinkling a little bit. But looks like that's here. It is cloudy and stuff this morning, but apparently it's going to get sunny and hot at some point with highs right near 100, 99 officially, with southeast winds 15 to 20 miles per hour. Clear skies tonight with an overnight low of 69 degrees. Winds out of the southeast 15 to 20, dropping down 5 to 10 after midnight tonight. For you Saturday, much like today, sunny, hot, highs right around 98, 99. Southeast winds 5 to 10 early, 15 to 20 for the afternoon. Mostly clear with an overnight low of 72 tomorrow night. For you Juneteenth, Sunday, sunny, hot, high of 98. South winds 5 to 10 early, 15 to 20 for the afternoon. And then the rain chances begin officially. 20% chance of rain Sunday night, partly cloudy, 72. Our chance of rain's at 40% on Monday, mostly sunny, high of 97. 30% chance of rain Monday night, overnight low of 72 under mostly cloudy skies. And then the rest of the week, we're looking at 30% chances of rain each day through next week. So maybe we'll get some moisture. Knock on wood, do your rain dances, wash your cars. I washed mine this week. I've done my part. Y'all need to help us out here. All right, it is 21 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're going to take about a 2.5-minute commercial break, and then stay tuned on the other side. Vicki Thomas is going to join us with Eastern New Mexico University Roswell, talking about kids' college classes. So we'll be talking all about that next. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
The blowout is on. The Honda Summer Blowout is on all month long at Roswell Honda with an amazing selection of sparkling new rides to choose from, like a 2017 Honda Accord for just $389 a month, a 2019 Ford EcoSport for just $349 a month, or a 2015 Chrysler 200 for just $249 a month. Zero down, no payments till September, and 0% financing available. And if you've ever thought about trading up, now is the best time. Your current vehicle has never been worth more. And bring in your mailer for a chance to win big. The blowout is on all month long at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd. Sometimes when you hit the road hits back. That's why MTA Mechanics and Tire carries major brands like Bridgestone, Cooper, and Michelin. Not only do you get top brand tires, but you also get a nationwide warranty. So wherever you are, MTA Mechanics and Tire has you covered. Stop by or let MTA come to you with their MTA Mobile Tire Shop, covering Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia. They can come to your home, office, or even the airport, and alignment is included on all sets of 4 tires. MTA Mechanics and Tires, getting you back on the road.
Every trial, every heartache, every letdown, you're raising it up for my good.
Country Club Road Church of Christ would like to invite you out to a free concert June 25th at 7 p.m. Come out and enjoy the beautiful music from Lubbock Christian University's very own group, Best Friends.
Let me tell you about my Jesus. His love is strong and his grace is free.
Hear songs from their latest album, Solid Rock. It's a fun, free night of music and worship you won't want to miss. All ages are welcome.
Did he move every mountain? Did he part every sea? Yes, he did.
That's Saturday, June 25th, 7 p.m. at Country Club Road Church of Christ, 700 West Country Club Road in Roswell.
The truth be told, the truth is really told.
Hear more of the music from Best Friends on iTunes.
I say I'm fine, yeah, I'm fine, oh, I'm fine.
When you think of home health care here in Roswell, what's the first thing that pops into your head? That's right, Frontier Medical. We've been doing it better than anyone else for over 20 years. From in-home nursing to physical therapy and so much more. Doctors and hospitals from Albuquerque to Lubbock and everywhere in between have been trusting their patients to us here at Frontier Medical. So when it's time to make a choice, remember Frontier Medical. 575-627-1112. Frontier Medical. Name to remember.
If you plug your nose, you can't tell the difference between an apple, potato, and an onion. Unless you open your eyes. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 24 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell, Vicki Thomas back with us. Been a little bit, but she's been back with us. Good morning. How you doing, Vicki?
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you know what? I think the last time we talked to you was pre-COVID on the radio here.
I think it was pre-COVID.
So it's been a few years.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's always nice to see my Leadership Roswell alumni.
Yeah, that's right. Vicki and I were in Leadership Roswell together here a few years ago, and I'm sure she will attest like I do. It's an amazing program.
Absolutely.
And by the way, they are taking applications for the new class.
Oh, good.
End of July. You've got your deadline to turn those in is July 31st. So you got a little time, but get that done, and maybe you can be a part of the 2022 class, which, like I said, Vicki and I both are alumni of, and I know I can say, and I'm sure you can say the same thing, is
absolutely
you gained a lot from that year-long course, I think.
It pays you even after it's over.
Absolutely.
Your valuable contacts in the community and your cohort.
Absolutely, which... I don't know. It may have found out why they put Vicki to work so busy over the last 3 years. They said, wow, she did good in that Leadership Roswell. Let's see how many other things we can give her to do. So I'm kidding, but she has been a busy lady over the last couple of years here. So, but well, first off, before we talk about early kids college and all that, the kids college and all this stuff, let's want to remind people that the pool's now open. So if you want to go to the pool, you can go online, see the pool hours, and then I'm not sure if there's any because I know they would. If you want to book for the parties and things like that.
It is available for parties
as
well.
You have to book pretty far in advance, so I don't know availabilities right now, but check with them. They can talk all about that stuff. But I figure while we had you here, might as well plug some of the other things going on with the NMUR right now,
Absolutely. It's a busy place.
Absolutely. Even though it's technically summer where it's slightly slower than it normally is, although summer classes are underway, like the pool's going, everything. So they're pretty busy out at the campus, even though it is technically off season. Sort of.
I'm not sure we ever actually get an off season.
You won't even call it that. But yeah, of course, they just had Scrubs Camp too here.
We did highly successful. We had 107 students come for Scrubs Camp.
Good. So if you missed out, mark it for your calendars for next summer. They've been doing this. Well, they had to take a little bit of a break with COVID.
This was our third year.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to doing it again next year.
Yeah, I think, it's been about 5 years. And I think you missed 1 or 2 years because of COVID.
We missed 2 because of COVID.
And then you had last year's, I think, or at least a version of it last year, if I remember right.
No, we weren't able to do anything last summer, so we were excited to be able to do it this summer.
Okay.
And we had
I was thinking like there was kind of a
attendance.
scaled-back version 1 year in there somewhere.
Well, we tried to do it, but then we had the governor's orders.
Logistics shut it down.
Yeah,
gotcha.
that we just weren't able
That's
to
what
do
it was.
it,
I was like, I seem to remember like there was a smaller version at some point there, but again, another great. And that's great because and if you missed it, don't hesitate to reach out to the campus if you want. They're not going to recreate Scrubs Camp for you, but if you want to learn about all the different areas of medical studies, from nursing to your phlebotomy, I can never say that right, to X-ray and tech, all those skilled positions in the medical field that ENMU offer as for training and stuff, you can learn all about that. Scrubs Camp is kind of a great way to showcase all of that because it goes from the EMS side to where the first responders are the first ones to see you, all the way through the process to the hospital. It almost shows the gamut of a person's journey from accident to being back on their feet in that whole time. And through it shows all the different programs ENMUR offer as a thing. But it's done reenacted, so you get to see like the ambulance pull up and there's the accident and all. It's really cool, and the kids love it, and everybody. It really gives them a chance to see what's available out there. So if you missed it for this year, get on the calendar for next year. Your kids for we'll talk more about it, but it is a great program.
It's a great program. This year we had a pedestrian with accident with a motor vehicle.
Okay,
was our scenario, and the ambulance came and the fire trucks, and we had the helicopter there that carted the patient away and then brought them back where we had an ICU.
That's really cool.
Set up. And
that's great you're able to coordinate with
whole...
like the medevac folks and all that. Because in case you haven't noticed, ENMUR doesn't have helicopters that are on flying status laying around.
Right.
Might be one or two to work on in the air side there, but it certainly is not going flying anytime soon.
No.
Yeah, just what I know from my military time, the trainers those planes that they tear apart and put back together, those don't fly anymore. Those are strictly to teach mechanics how to tear down and build airplane engines and all that kind of stuff.
I know we always marvel because the minute we put that in the hangar, whatever piece of plane, helicopter, whatever, they always say, yeah, now it can never fly again.
Yeah,
and that's just the rule.
Sure. Well, but it's a training environment.
It's a training environment.
You think that's expensive? I went to military tech school, and they have F-16s and stuff in there.
Wow.
So, yeah, they don't fly those either. And those jets are probably a little bit more pricey than that one sitting in the... Yeah, they don't cut you deals on those jets. There's no sale or anything. So.
No.
But anyway, those have happened, and those are, of course. If by the way, if they are registering for fall classes right now, so if you want to learn more about welding or the airplane mechanics, please go to roswell.enmu.edu, look at the course schedule, make an appointment. Now's a great time to talk to advisors. I know a lot of them are off campus, but they've got some people there around that can help you with all that stuff. And get registered for the fall. You can do all that right now. But for the younger kids, we got all kinds of stuff going on here. Talk a little bit about this.
Yeah, we have a couple of opportunities. We have 2 more camps coming up this summer.
Good deal.
So the first one we're going to have is called Art Fest Camp.
Yes, and that's coming up here in just a couple weeks, right?
July 18th.
Yeah. Oh, that's a little farther than I thought.
Yeah, but the registration deadline is July 1st.
Okay, so you got about 2-3 weeks to get that done.
The deadline's coming real quick for that one. It's going to be a really fun camp. Our art instructor has put it together.
Good.
She has a lot of student helpers who are going to come in and help her. It's broken up into age groups.
Okay.
The kindergarten through 5th graders will come in the mornings, and then in the afternoons they'll clean everything up, reset, and then in the afternoons we're going to have the 6th through 12th graders.
Okay, so basically elementary in the morning, middle, and high in the afternoon.
In the afternoon.
And obviously the projects reflect the skill or age groups a little bit more. So obviously the kindergarten through 5th grade, they're going to be working on projects that are appropriate to that age level. They'll get a little bit more advanced with the middle and high school as far as those projects. Arts that more appealing to them and things like that.
Correct. And it's a whole gamut of art that they're going to be doing. There's some painting that's going on. They'll be working with clay and the glazes and putting the pieces in the kiln. And
that's a lot of fun.
It's going to expose them to a lot of different types of art. So, something may spark your interest that you haven't had a chance to dabble in yet.
Parents, if I can make just a suggestion, giving your kids a chance, because like I said, it gives them an opportunity to expose them to other forms of art that may not be readily available at home. We all probably have some markers or some, where you can do that. But like, I will tell you, like when I was in high school, I took in art classes, and I'm one of those people that I've got a creative gene. Like my mom was kind of an artist, drawing hand. She was loved. So I've got that in my DNA. But I'm not necessarily. I haven't honed it or have the patience necessarily to do some of those things. But I will remember when I was in high school, I took a ceramics class.
Oh yeah.
And I found out that my head was much more in that area, like drawing and stuff. I wasn't so good. But first time I got on the potter's wheel, I made something that wasn't an embarrassment, and I was kind of like, people are like, what do you mean? That looks like a pot. Like it's even, and you know what I mean? It didn't look like that thing that, the first time you get on a potter's wheel that, whoa, what happened there?
It's all crooked.
Yeah. It's like, why is it 2 inches thick over here and you can see through it over here, all that. Yeah, none of that. It was like, wow. Matter of fact, I've got 2 things I made in high school that are still sitting in my house as a kid. So I kind of excelled at that when I didn't and so what I'm trying to tell parents is maybe, even though if your kid maybe doesn't excel at drawing or painting, this will give them a chance to find those other maybe they all of a sudden they're ceramics wizards or they're glaze, or maybe they find out they're good at, who knows,
we're
some other medium.
We're going to do a lot of stuff that's tactile.
Yeah, tactile stuff.
We're using some textiles and a whole variety. Boy, the art instructor's been on a real big shopping spree.
Good. So
the boxes are coming in.
But please maybe it'll find your niche for your kid, that all of a sudden they find the spark that says, this is what I want to do. And even if, maybe they're not pursuing careers, but guess what? For the rest of their life, they may be in there doing ceramics or something. They may be that they found their escape,
their hobby.
Yeah, their get away from life when everything happens. They go to their room and get on the potter's wheel and start making amazing vases and dishes and what have you back there.
Your future Mother's Day presents.
Exactly, but this is how they find out these things. It's always at a camp they did at the summer at the college or something like that. So sign your kids up for this camp, and who knows, you may have just found their life's passion. You never know. It's and if not, then you move on and see what else sticks. That's the great thing about these camps. You sign up, they're very cheap or free, depending on the camps and things.
This particular camp is $100.
$100, okay.
And that covers everything. It includes all the supplies and materials that your student will need.
Good deal.
For the whole summer, as well, or for the whole camp, as well as a snack.
Good deal. And like I said, it starts July 18th?
July 18th. It runs for 1 week.
Okay.
And the sessions are 9 to 12 in the morning and 2 to 5 in the afternoon.
But you must have your child registered by July 1.
Correct. That is our registration deadline, so that we can make sure that we're completely prepared and, we have all the supplies and materials set up and everything's ready to go.
We do live in the COVID world still.
Yes.
And where they could probably easily get modeling clay, it probably has to take a little longer, cost a little more. It costs, those logistics take a little longer now. So we can't be as land of manana in our signups right now. If July 1's the deadline, we got to make it that way, because July 2, we've got to get that information for the final counts for supply and material and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's really, we would love to say, yeah, sure, wait till the 17th, no problem, but logistically they can't pull that off.
Yeah, we just can't. But we're excited. It's fun to have people back on campus. It's exciting to see little kiddos running around and just their eyes so big and full of excitement and just taking it all in.
And then you could, maybe if you play your cards right and work it, maybe they, during that week, the kids do the camp and stuff. And then if you got time, it's like, all right, well, let's go to the pool afterwards.
Exactly.
And, not that, it's, hey, we're all out on the campus right now. Let's go ahead and do the fun, the art camp. And then right after that, we'll go swimming for an hour or so. And then, go home for dinner or whatever.
You can hit the cafeteria for lunch and then go to the pool.
Exactly. By the way, they got pretty good food over there, too. If you haven't eaten their burritos.
I just ate lunch there yesterday.
Yeah. And if you get there early enough for breakfast, those breakfast burritos are pretty tasty, too.
Yes.
Good deal. So that's coming up July 18th.
Correct.
I know there's some other camps and stuff, too.
The following week, we're going to have what we call Kids College.
Okay. And that's kind of what we were talking a little bit more about.
Yeah. And so that week, we're going to have 5 different sessions going on. Kids is in the ages of 4 to 12.
Okay.
And 4 of the 5 sessions are Lego-based.
Oh, okay.
They're all STEM concepts.
Okay.
But they're Lego-based with very complicated Lego sets. They're Lego sets that aren't available.
Okay. So not like the ones you can buy on the toy store shelves or anything. Okay,
no,
cool.
These are educational sets, and so they're very elaborate
so
and complicated.
So you can guarantee these kids never built these models before.
They haven't seen these.
Cool.
Even the biggest Lego fanatics, I think this will be new.
Okay, cool.
For them. The thing that we do want kids to know is, though, that the Legos stay in the classroom. They don't get to take them home. We don't want any kiddo to be disappointed that they're not going to get to take them home with them.
Well, we will. You make your projects, and then through the medium of pictures,
Yes.
we can save your artwork.
And we will.
For all of eternity to display proudly. But, yeah, you can't keep the Lego model because they need the Legos for the next year's class.
For the next class, exactly. Exactly. And if you take them home on Monday, then we wouldn't have anything to play with on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday.
And just for confirmation, you have to be a kid to sign up. I know a lot of adults love their Legos, too.
We're going to keep this just for the kiddos.
You got to be 4 to 12 there to qualify for this camp. So.
But, that brings up a good point. I'm putting together some classes, community education classes for the fall.
Okay.
And things like yoga and some piano classes, guitar classes, those kind of things. But I've had a lot of adults call about the Lego classes. So we may put something together for adult Legos so we can all play and relieve our stress.
I know, like the Roswell Public Library, like once a month they'll do like a Lego night, and basically they'll have they usually do like a challenge, like say, hey, you can recreate this in 10 minutes or something, and you can participate in that or not. But generally, they just pour the Lego out and let parents and their kids just make projects together playing Legos, and I think the parents dig it as much, if not more, as the kids do. It's like the parents like, come on, Johnny, you ready to go to the Legos? And the kid's like, I want to watch it. No, come on, we're doing Legos. So you might hit onto something if you do like an adult Lego class or something.
I had quite a few parents ask, can I stay with my child?
Yeah.
Like, no, but I'm working on something for the fall for the adults. So.
I'm telling you, put pizza and Legos in a room, you can draw the world.
That's all it takes.
You want to have a successful meeting, put some Legos and some pizza in there, and everybody will come.
I'm going to try that at my next meeting.
I'm telling you, there's something to it. It's pizza and Legos. I'll see you there. But yeah, it's a really cool kids camp that they get the chance to kind of, and like you said, it kind of taps into probably more of the STEAM, where it's the science and engineering, but with the Legos and all, there's that the art part.
The art part.
That's part of it. So it's more STEAM than STEM.
Correct.
Good deal.
Correct. And then the 5th class that we're going to offer is not Lego-based. It's called Survival Tactics.
Okay.
And it's for kids who really enjoy being outdoors, playing outdoors, being
learning
outdoors. And so they're going to learn things like building a fire and getting water and shelter and those kind of things.
Perfect.
So I had a lot of interest in that class. We must have a lot of future campers.
Well, but say if if the kids send your kids to this camp, and if they kind of turns out they have a hankering for this, then you could start showing them the scouting programs available and get them exposed to more camping and things where they'll get them more depth than that. But I love that because I don't care. We all live in New Mexico, and we live in Roswell or whatever, and we got our little communities, but we live in the middle of nowhere. You got to go 3 hours to find other civilizations, things. We live in a rural world. And let's face it, there may come a time in your life where you maybe you're up north driving or something, and God forbid, your vehicle gets knocked off the road and you get in a remote area and you're on your own for hours, days.
Yeah.
I mean, we've heard stories of a week or so a woman or a man's been stuck in there before somebody finds them. And these skill sets might be the ones that are the difference between they find you alive and they don't find you alive. So, I know we're talking kids and all that, but just in a fun, friendly way now, you're showing these kids how to make a fire.
Their lifetime skills.
Or they need to make a shelter to stay in the night, or maybe even like plant identification or water sources, how to find water sources, how to start a fire with wet wood, and all the stuff I learned in Scouts. This is the kind of stuff that these could be handy skill sets. Even if you don't go camping, we live in New Mexico. We live in rural areas. There might be a scenario where you're stuck out in the middle of nowhere for whatever reason, and you're going to have to be on your own for something. And, they always say have your little kits with water and stuff, but you might need more than that. If you get, and I wish I was talking like this is a fantasy, but almost every year we hear a story, especially in the wintertime, up in the north in the mountains, somebody skids off the road and breaks through a guardrail, and they're not seen for days on end. And I mean, it seems like every year there's one of those stories where somebody's been stuck in there, and fortunately, most of them are all survived, thank God. But it's the skill set of living on your own and understanding, hey, I need to be self-reliant. I can't solve all my needs from an app on my phone. I need to, you know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely.
So I think it's a great camp, a great way to teach. But if you do find that your kid really loves this stuff, then maybe
there's future training opportunities,
scouting and various things like that, and get them to nurture that. And who knows, they might be that outdoor backpacker kind that they're doing this stuff, when they're retired or, in their hobbies.
Could be a future career.
Absolutely. So,
and these classes are 2 hours at a time.
And what's the cost on these camps?
These are only $30.
$30 for the week-long camp.
For the week-long 2-hour sessions.
Now,
and
is it the same age group for the survival camp as it is for the...
the survival camp is ages 7 to 12.
Okay, so a little bit older.
It's a little bit older.
Okay.
But there are different groupings for kids ages 4 through 12.
Okay.
And kids can attend more than one session.
Oh, good. Okay.
If you would like, I've had parents sign their kids up actually for as many as 3 sessions.
Okay.
Just as long as they don't overlap.
Yeah.
We're good with it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, parents in this day and age, the more things you can teach your kids to be self-reliant, self able to take care of their own needs, the better you're preparing them for the future.
The future.
I know we live in a world where we tend to go the opposite direction of that, but things break down, the world happens, things sometimes don't go as advertised, and your child will have a plan when that happens, as opposed to, what do I do now? I don't know. And then you have to.
Oh, my phone doesn't work.
Exactly. It's and I'm not gonna. If you have like children with like confidence, self-esteem issues, these are the kind of skill sets that
be great.
That kind of add to that. So when they experience and do more things, they're going to find themselves a little bit more confident, a little bit more now that they've got experience with this stuff, and you start seeing the shy, less confident kids start being a little bit more confident and trusting in of their skills and things like that, and that comes out in their social and everything else they do.
Absolutely. So. And we have skilled educators who have been vetted and they're bonded and licensed. He'll be teaching all of our camps.
Good deal.
This summer.
So they know what they're doing. It's not.
They know what they're doing.
Not some guy that watched Les Strout videos or Survivor Man or whatever.
No.
Said, "All right, let's teach them under survival."
No, we have really well qualified instructors that we.
You ever seen
partner with.
Napoleon Dynamite movie?
Yes.
The guy with the pants with teaching taekwondo. Not that. We're not talking about that.
No.
But I got Zumba pants. All right, you're an expert. But no. But we got people that this is what they do. They know
they're well qualified and they know how to have a lot of fun.
And that's the thing is, and really those skills are fun because yes, they're telling you in case you get lost in the woods or something. But guess what? You can go fun camping in the woods and use the same skill sets. We're trying to show you why it's a good time to know this, but you don't have to necessarily save it for those scenarios. Like, you don't have to wait to learn to build a fire until you get lost in the woods. Now you can go camping and have fun and do all the fun part, and now you have these skill sets.
Go in your backyard.
Exactly. But, these are in case, you get lost and you're in the woods and you might have to spend the night out there by yourself. Can you do it with the ability to survive the next day? And that's what these classes will give them, some of those skill sets, how to buy, how to provide food, heat, water, the resources you need as a human, how to do things to make yourself easy to find.
Right.
When you're lost, people are looking for you. Give them clues, trail markers, all those things, clues for you to look for when you're out there to kind of point you towards civilization or things like that. Following streams. There's a lot of those things that if you're trying to travel to get to where the people are, there's a lot of indicators, because you get turned around out there, but say, okay, here's the river. The river flows a certain way. It's going this way. Follow along the river. That's going to eventually take you to some place where there's going to be people and help. So, but that's the type of stuff you learn when you're doing this, when you do these classes and things. So it's great. Please, I don't care. I think you should offer an adult version of this too, to be honest, because I think there's a lot of adults that could.
It may be something that we incorporate into our fun.
Yeah.
Community education classes for adults.
Well, in the meantime, if we get enough kids trained, so when the kids go out like family weekend, and if the family gets lost, the kid can
be the hero,
be the one sharing the skill sets they learned in the class here too.
Yeah.
Let me ask, what's the best way to sign up for any of these classes? Is it through the website or?
If people just give me a call, I can take care of it for you right over the phone.
Okay, very good. What's the best number to call?
You can reach me at 575-624 7164.
Very good.
If I'm not there, just leave me a message and I will call you back and we'll get your children all signed up for whatever they would like.
And of course, if you don't remember that and you call the main number, the 64 7000, say, can I talk to Vicki Thomas?
I'm the only Vicki on campus, so
she's the only Vicki.
They'll get
Everyone
you to
knows
me.
her. So you could probably pull off, can I speak to Vicki? And that might be give you enough.
Yep.
But if you don't remember any of that, say, hey, I heard on the radio they were talking about the art camp and stuff. Okay, well, who do I need to talk to about that? They'll transfer you right to
They'll
Vicki.
get you to me. Yeah.
Absolutely. Very good. But what's the deadline for signups for the wilderness camp, the survival camp?
For the kids' college classes, the deadline for that is July 8th.
Very good. So
we
you got
got about 3 more weeks for that
but
one.
sign up for it. Like I said, they're only $30 for the class on those.
Right.
But if you want the art class, which will, which again, the deadline for that to sign up is July 1. That's $100 for the week-long class.
And that one is $100.
But they're going to have a bunch of take-home
it
projects
includes all
and all
your materials, all your supplies, and that one does have a snack in it.
Yeah, and not to mention they're going to be taking home all this artwork that they did, including ceramic work and paintings and drawings. And
they'll have their bedroom all decorated.
I would say they at least, depending on how big their room is, at least one wall is full of art to fill up there.
Yes.
So very good. What else do we need to promote? Do we get them all?
That's pretty much what we have left for this summer. We had 3 camps going on. We've got one that was very successful. We're looking forward to the next 2. And then we're focusing on the fall. We're putting together our community education classes.
Great. So we'll get you back in here late summer, maybe talking about some of the fall stuff for families to get involved with.
Great.
For the adults and the kids here.
Yeah, we're looking at having a tea party class.
Oh, nice.
Where the little girls and their moms can come and,
like a little formal.
And we'll have, we're going to have a formal tea party class. Bring your doll babies.
I kind of love that because when I grew up as a kid, my grandmother was the resource for me to learn like dining etiquette. Like what forks go where, what plates, the whole, outside to in, the drinking glass, the bread plate, the salad plate, the whole formal setup. My grandmother was my elbows off the table. I mean, all of that. I don't know if you call it elocution or whatever that would fall under, but I learned all that as a kid, and that's a dying art today. I mean, yeah, in fancy circles you can still see that, but I don't think families are teaching their kids how a proper table setting is and all that stuff. So again, that's another class that I think everyone should have in their pocket. Not that you're going to do this every day, but I think just to have that knowledge in your pocket, so when that once or twice in your life, when you come across that scenario where you're like, why do I got 2-3 forks here? You know exactly the protocol here. It's like, okay, that's the butter knife, that's your cutting knife, that's your salad fork, that's your meal fork, that's your dessert fork. Yeah. And that's your butter knife, that's your bread plate, that's and a lot of us like, I don't know all this, and so I think that's great that they get to learn that kind of stuff, and I think all of us should have that piece in your back pocket because you never know when that'll come in handy.
We are looking at a kids etiquette class for the fall as well, and just teach some of those little manner things and some telephone manners and
trust me, fellas, having this skill set in your pocket, you will impress your future dates. When you go and you start doing some of these chivalrous or formal etiquette things that they're gonna be like, oh, this person does have a little taste. You will look that much more attractive to the partner of which you are pursuing. So, just saying, you're gonna schmooze them a little bit by these moves. It'll help you. Good deal. But look for that in the fall here.
Yep, I'm working on a whole variety of things that is not even set in stone at all yet. So if there's something people are really wanting to see, give me a call. We can probably get something worked out. I'm always looking for ideas and new opportunities, new classes. So give me a call.
Well, and that's the thing. That's the great thing about Eastern New Mexico University Roswell. It is a college for the community, and so it's here to meet and serve the needs of this community. And so it's constantly evolving and changing to meet the needs of this community. And so this is how that's done, by offering these kind of classes, offering things. Sure, if you're a student trying to get a degree and all of that, the college is there for you. But if you're just a person that's retired or living your life or whatever, and you want to take a class to for your kids or for this, or do something that not necessarily is pursuing a degree, but just to better your life in some way, shape, or form, whether it's formally through work, getting stuff for a work promotion, or just stuff like, hey, I've always wanted to learn ceramics. I've always wanted to learn this art form, and now I get to practice it my own. You're not doing it for a degree per se. No. You're just doing it so you can better your own life, and that's where the college is there for you, whether you're pursuing to get ahead in a career or if you're just wanting to enrich your own life for, wisdom, knowledge, and experiences. It's there for you to do that. So reach out and do some of this stuff.
And it's important to know, too, everything that I offer through my division is non-credit. So that means you don't get graded, you don't have homework assignments, you don't have to do research papers or give talks in class. It's all non-credit.
What you put into it's what you're going to take out of it.
Exactly. And many of the classes, they meet one time and you get everything that you need.
Good deal.
Maybe some of them meet for maybe 6 weeks for a couple of hours a week. They're all over the board.
And I'm sure, like with all the instructors, they're all resources. So even outside of the class schedule per se, you're working on a project, especially if it's an art-related thing or something, and you could pick that teacher's brain on, am I doing the technique right? And they're all happy to work with you to work on the technique and all that stuff.
All excited. So, they're excited for you.
Absolutely. Yeah. So reach out, sign up for some of these camps. Call Vicki direct. Give your number one more time for folks. 575-624-7164. Very good. And if you can't remember that, you're driving, you can call the 624-7000 main campus number direct. Just ask for Vicki Thomas. They'll take you right to her. And then you can ask about any of the camps we talked about here. Or if you have, like you said, an idea for something and you're thinking, hey, I would love to do this. I've got a following of people who would love this. Is this something we can bring to the campus? And we can set that appointment up and start that conversation with Vicki. So
great. I look forward to having my phone ringing off the hook.
There you go. Well, thank you as always. Good seeing you again.
Thank you. So nice to see you again.
And now hopefully we get to see you more often now that the world is coming back out and things are happening. So good deal. And stay cool. I know that's easier said than done.
You too. Enjoy the rain.
It was nice. Hope we get some more of it.
I know. It was nice driving to work today.
It was. It was kind of like the ominous and happy at the same time. I'm like, exactly. I look at one eyeball's looking at sun, the other's looking at dark clouds, and I'm like, it's kind of cool.
Only in New Mexico.
Only in New Mexico. Well, thank you, Vicki. We'll see you next time.
You're welcome.
It is 8:55. Let's take a quick break before we get you into Town Hall News. Don't go away.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. President Biden told the Associated Press on Thursday that the American people are really, really down after a tumultuous 2 years with the coronavirus pandemic, volatility in the economy, and now surging gasoline prices that are slamming family budgets. He said a recession is not inevitable and bristled at claims by Republican lawmakers that last year's COVID-19 aid plan was fully to blame for inflation reaching a 40-year high. Revlon, the cosmetics maker that broke racial barriers and dictated beauty trends for much of the last century, has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. The company has been a mainstay on the store shelves since its founding 90 years ago in New York City, as it oversaw a stable of household names like Elizabeth Arden. Average gas prices in Los Angeles, $6.46 a gallon, and $5.20 a gallon in New York. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
No doubt about it, summer is a time for family fun and adventure. And whether it's a drive across the country for an epic vacation or a drive across town for epic ice cream, you have to have a vehicle you can depend on. A vehicle that's comfortable for the whole family and all your gear. That's why you should begin your summer adventures at Roswell Ford. Here at the Tailgate Nation, you'll find southeastern New Mexico's largest inventory of exceptionally nice pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. All have survived a rigorous 139-point inspection, and Roswell Ford even gives you a 3-day money-back guarantee. So where do we get such great pre-owned vehicles? Well, Roswell Ford is always looking for gently used cars and trucks. If you have one you want to sell, we'll make you a cash offer on the spot and give you a week to think about it. Cross town or cross country, get your summer adventures started right with an upgraded ride from Roswell Ford, the Tailgate Nation, at the corner of 9th and Main, the official sponsor of summer fun.
Your home is your sanctuary, and the land it's built on is even more precious. So when termites start devouring your house, you want a proven treatment that's environmentally responsible. You want the Centricon Termite Colony Elimination System. The Centricon system is the green way to protect homes from subterranean termites. Rather than surrounding your house with hundreds of gallons of diluted chemical solution, the Centricon system strategically uses just a few grams of active ingredient in termite bait, working with natural termite behavior to destroy termite colonies. With this technology, it's no wonder the Centricon system became the only termite treatment to receive the Presidential Green Chemistry Challenge Award from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. And homeowners rate the Centricon system as the most environmentally sound termite treatment. Your home is your sanctuary, so monitor, bait, and eliminate termites with the Centricon system. Think of it as your own little piece on Earth.
Call Bob Reed Pest Control today for all of Southeast New Mexico. 575-623-5344.
Your home for Armed American Radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
And it is closing in on 9 o'clock. We got here about 45, 50 seconds before we get you into the news here. Stay tuned next hour, around 9:15 or so. Tracy Fry with the Roswell Public Library is going to join us, and we'll talk summer reading program, which is full underway. Got underway the 6th here, so if you have not signed up yet, adults, children, all can sign up. You still got some time here, but I'd get it done because closer now, because the program ends basically the end of July. And so we want to give you enough time to get all of the reading requirements done so you can earn your prizes and things. So, but Tracy will join us next hour. We'll talk about summer reading program, talk also about upcoming events and things, some special activities through summer reading programs, some just outside and part of their normal daily programs that they do out there. So we'll get that update from Tracy next hour. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. It could make it a bit easier for them to sleep peacefully at night. President Biden signing a bill on high court security.
The new law will give around-the-clock security protection to the families of Supreme Court justices. The bill signing came 8 days after a man carrying a gun, knife, and zip ties was arrested near Justice Brett Kavanaugh's house after threatening to kill the justice. Threats against the justices have increased since a draft of an opinion that would sharply curtail abortion rights leaked last month. Greg Clugston, Washington.
The FBI is on the case, announcing an investigation of a series of attacks and threats against pro-life pregnancy centers and faith-based groups nationwide. The Bureau says it takes all threats seriously. Its action comes after a group of 100 House Republicans signed a letter to Attorney General Garland urging the Justice Department to get involved. Bloodshed last evening in an Episcopal church in the Birmingham suburb of Vestavia Hills, Alabama.
A lone suspect entered a small group church meeting and began shooting.
Vestavia Hills Police Captain Shane Ware tells WBMA the 2 people were killed. A third person was wounded. The suspect is in custody. It happened during a small group meeting at St. Stephen's Episcopal Church. The British government has approved the extradition of WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange to the United States to face spy charges. WikiLeaks vows to appeal, and it has 2 weeks to do so. With a tiny gain in the month of May, U.S. industrial output has risen for 5 months in a row. Watching Wall Street, stocks which had been higher across the board have now turned mixed. Right now, the Dow is down 193 points, while the Nasdaq is up 34, the S&P 23 points in the red. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Are you kidding me? Gas prices are up again? Somebody has to do something.
Well, someone did. That's why I use Upside.
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that pays you back real money for every gallon of gas or diesel you buy. I just earned 25 cents back on every gallon of this tank.
Hold on. So the Upside app is free and you actually get cash back every time you use it? No strings attached?
Yep, it's awesome. Check it out. It only takes a couple of minutes to sign up.
Instead of just watching your dollars go into your tank, start putting money back into your wallet with the free app from Upside. With the price of gas today, it's big news and big money. To cash out of your Upside cash, just transfer it to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card. Upside users have already earned over $200 million. Now it's your turn. Download the free Upside app and start getting cash back on every gallon of gas. Use promo code SALEM for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back in your first fill up. That's promo code SALEM. Remember, use promo code SALEM for an extra 25 cents per gallon back in your first fill-up.
Ukraine has applied for European Union membership, and during a visit to Kiev this week, the leaders of France, Germany, and Italy backed Ukraine's bid for membership. The BBC's Joe Inwood in the Ukrainian capital.
There is growing support in this country for joining the European Union and the security guarantees that would get. The latest data says that about 9 out of 10 Ukrainians want to join the European Union. That is a massive increase since the start of this invasion. But, of course, it is going to be a long and difficult process. This is the start of a journey that is going to take them many, many years. But I think it's a journey that most Ukrainians do want to embark on. And the message we got yesterday from the European leaders is that it's a journey that Europe wants them to embark on as well.
French President Macron is promising Ukraine 6 more truck-mounted artillery guns, the latest in a new round of Western arms pledges for Ukraine. News and analysis at townhall.com. Hundreds of domestic flights canceled yesterday, one of the worst travel days yet, as the summer vacation season heats up.
On the same day that airline CEOs held a virtual meeting with Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, airlines canceled more than 1,500 flights in the U.S. According to the tracking service FlightAware, more than one-third of all flights were scrubbed at New York LaGuardia, and more than one-fourth of the flights were dropped at nearby Newark Liberty. The meeting came on the heels of about 2,800 flight cancellations around the Memorial Day holiday weekend and just ahead of July 4th. The airlines were asked about their summer preparations. They are struggling with a shortage of workers. Pilots' unions say their airlines were too slow to replace pilots who were retired or took leaves of absences during the early part of the pandemic. Norman Hall, Washington.
And watching Wall Street, the Dow is down 96 points, the NASDAQ 26 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel witch and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3 of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Friday.
Mm-hmm.
We made it. It's here.
Yes.
It's Friday. We got plans on our downtime. It's all good.
It's the Beetle Fest this weekend.
Oh, the VW here in town?
I guess so.
I haven't seen a plethora of Beetles.
I haven't either. A friend of mine posted on Facebook, said, pad your arms. Slug Bug game is strong this weekend.
Yeah, I played that game with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, he called it Punch
Buggy. Now, this is, I was actually going to ask you. There's like a whole half of the country that doesn't call it Slug Bug.
No, we called it Punch Buggy.
Right. So growing up for me, it was a whole like saying, a phrase that you had to say. It was Slug Bug, the color of the bug, and then if you wanted to make sure you didn't get hit back, no slugbacks. So it was always Slug Bug red, no slugbacks. That's how we used to say it.
Yeah, it was just my dad and I, and he's usually driving, so he limited the rules so he could have a fair shake. Otherwise, I had a huge advantage.
Right.
Because he,
Plus, you were in the back seat, I'm assuming, so you could just go upside his head.
I got all angles.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like, I could see, like, behind on the other side, like, Slug Bug in mall parking lot, and boom, or Punch Bug.
Punch Buggy.
Yeah, but yeah.
Now, did you guys ever call the color?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was like blue Punch Buggy?
Yeah.
Because, see, I'm trying to remember, the only reference to Punch Buggy before, like, we'll call it, like, the 2000s, was the movie Lilo and Stitch.
Oh. I have not seen that.
Because he calls like Stitch in the movie calls a punch buggy.
Oh.
So it sort of like took off with punch buggy after that. But I'd always heard it slug bug.
Yeah, I grew up to punch buggy. Yeah, that was kind of what we always did.
Because I feel like punch buggy isn't. And maybe they did this to avoid like copyright infringement from VW. Because I feel like punch buggy isn't specific to the VW bug.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was just fun to say.
So we also used to have a variant on the game as well. If you saw a VW van bus, that was a slug bus, and you get 2 punches.
Oh, the micro bus.
That's right.
Yeah, we didn't play that game. We did have a kind of a license plate game, a little bit like out-of-state license plates, out of the state you're in. Because a lot of times we take it was like the trip to New York trip I've talked about before. So we do the summer trips, and so we all pile in the car and go, and we always had the same route and routine when we go to New York. My dad would always leave at like 4 a.m, and I'd be in the back of the station wagon, sacked out sleeping, and then around
no seatbelts whatsoever, just stretched across the bench seat.
Oh no! Well, we had a station wagon.
You were in the window.
Yeah, we had the station wagons. I was in the back in the bed back there, with sleeping bags.
Now, did you have the station wagon with the backwards facing seat?
No.
See, that's the move. My sister has a it's a BMW station wagon. It's old,
and over the years it was 3 different station wagons.
Okay,
like the early days was a VW station wagon, whatever they called those. I don't know. It's the. Have you seen them?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, ours was blue, and he drove it to Kansas, and But anyway, it had the engine in the back and everything else like a Volkswagen, but it was a station wagon.
So you just slept right over the engine.
Yes, kept you warm.
If a nice rear ending would have happened, that would have been the end of one Michael P. Winters.
It was the early 80s.
We never would have known.
Yeah, it's a different time.
Radio talent lied within.
But when that thing finally died, he got a late 70s, early 80s Chrysler Town and Country station wagon.
I admire your dad's commitment to the station wagon. I mean, he knew his style.
And this thing was long. It was blue with wood paneling.
Nice.
And the back
now,
tire.
What kind of blue?
It was a dark blue.
Okay, so like LTD blue.
Yeah.
See, that's what I was thinking. Because we had a Chrysler LTD growing up that was this like weird shade of. I didn't know blue could like rust.
Kind of like your
blue.
shirt, but a little darker and not in one color. Not the
heather.
Yeah.
That's kind of almost the same one we had.
Yeah.
It was an LTD for us, but
and then the back wheel had the half wood paneling cap over it. So you only saw half the back wheel because it had that cover.
Nice.
It was ugly as sin. It got 6 miles to the gallon. And then
but it didn't matter because gas was like 97 cents back then.
And then when that car died, because they all die, he runs them into the ground. He got a Oldsmobile Cutlass station wagon that was an old gas engine that got converted to diesel.
Whoa.
So it was a plug-in diesel. And we drove that for many years, too. And that was the car that he drove into the ground that towards the end, it had 8 cylinders, but it would be running on 6 or 7. And then all of a sudden you'd be riding down the road and like some little buck happened or something. You hear that? What? 8-cylinder just kicked in.
Now we're playing with superpower, boys.
And so, those are my memories of the vehicles of which we did said road trips in.
I remember the LTD. I remember that vehicle because that was the one we used to go to school in. And it was always so cold.
Yeah.
In this because there was no heater to speak of.
Yeah.
And cars back then were just steel. There was no insulation, so they would just get freezing cold.
Yeah.
So I remember that car, and I also remember we had a Monte Carlo that had a hole in the floorboard.
Nice.
Yeah, which was real cool as a kid.
It's like the
Flintstones. Drop Skittles down. I didn't actually work in the danger implications, but yeah.
Yeah, it was just fun. It was like fishing, like a fishing hole, like ice fishing right there in your car.
You never know what you're going to find. Sometimes it's a squirrel.
But so I remember those days in the back. But we always had the route. Like we'd go at 4 a.m, and then we'd always stop in this place in Pennsylvania that had these Stuckies.
Okay.
Actually, I take that back. It was an Elby's. Later, it changed over to Stuckies. But Elby's,
really? Okay.
Elby's was their version of Bob's Big Boy.
Okay.
Like in some states, it was Bob's Big. Like Maryland, it was Bob's Big Boy.
So like a Hardee's, Arby's. Or
but
Hardee's,
when you got into Pennsylvania,
Carl's Jr.
they started turning into Elby's, and it's the same Big Boy with the thing, but it was called Elby's instead of Bob's Big Boy.
Okay.
And so we would go to LBs, but later it got converted to a Stuckey's. But it was the same deal. This Bob's Big Boy had the Stuckey's like thing where it had the Cracker Barrel-esque gift shop, and then you go eat kind of thing, right? So it was like that.
Okay.
And so we stopped at that place every single time, and then, but yeah, those are my childhood memories of travel in car.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. We're heading out on the day we're leaving at 3 a.m.
Oh, 300.
She pitched it as like it's a bad thing. Like, I have kids. I'm usually up at 3 a.m. getting things ready for the day.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I guess. Well, and Shoney's in KC. Shoney's.
I remember
I've seen
Shoney's.
some Shoney's too. And I think New York had Shoney's.
Well, Shoney's they were nationwide. There was a Shoney's in Albuquerque up until maybe a decade ago.
Okay. And I think, in Pennsylvania, at the time with their LBs, I think New York they had them Shoney's, and then we were Bob's Big Boy in Maryland.
Okay.
So, yeah, but all the same.
Yeah.
Just different. Wherever you came from, it was
different
different.
branding.
Still the big boy with holding the big giant burger on the platter there and standing there, the iconic
for those who never saw
statue,
Bob's Big Boy or Elby's or any of those, think the first or the ending of the first Austin Powers movie.
Oh yeah, I forgot he's in
where
there.
He floats off into Bob's Big Boy. Yep,
that's right. His rocket ship.
And the flame was just shooting out at the end.
Well, enough trips to Bob's Big Boy. That's what happens.
Yeah, you get the afterburners.
That's just part of the deal.
Got to fire off some exhaust.
Speaking of eating good food.
Eating good in this neighborhood.
Got to thank the fine folks at McDonald's, as they do each and every Friday, provide us with delicious breakfast treats. Definitely want to swing on by, download that app, utilize it for your own use, and save big, get free food. You download the app, you start ordering from the app, you sign up for the rewards program, you're earning reward points, order one there. And next thing you know, after 2 trips, you're something like, oh man, I got a free fry waiting on me, or I got a free McCafe beverage waiting on me, or something like that.
Yeah, so. I managed a free large iced vanilla iced coffee because I had the last remote I did had kids' mom watch the kids, and that was the fee was just bring me a coffee.
Nice.
So got it for free.
Awesome.
Thanks, Mickey D's.
Love it. And then after a couple more, you're earning the big points, like Big Macs and all those. And then you can get baller status like me and my points.
Mike's I think he's about 10 points away from getting a long sleeve T-shirt that says Big Mac Daddy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to save up for my own ice cream machine to save.
That makes sense. You should also save up for your own maintenance team.
Exactly. I will.
Just make sure it's always a tip-top shape. You want to make sure that you're getting the best.
Yeah, I want it to look like a NASCAR pit crew.
Nice.
Around my ice cream machine.
Right. Is that an impact wrench? What's that for?
I want one guy to slide under like he would, and then wheeze the juice.
Yeah.
I want all that. You're like, wheeze the juice. 90s Pauly Shore.
Do you have any idea how fast we can slap 4 wheels on this bad boy?
Yeah.
But why?
I love it. I wish I could describe what I just saw. I'm just trying to figure him out, man. He walks in looking around like he's looking for something here. I love that. It's like, I'm doing a show. You just kind of. It makes me laugh.
Thomas kind of reminds me of what Johnny Quest would be like all grown up.
Ooh.
With that hair,
so?
with the hairstyle and just the kind of the boyishness.
Think so?
I think so.
To peel back the curtain, he was looking for apparently scissors. After I think I saw him walk back in with scissors.
That man
came out of the office. He looked in here, looking around like, that's odd. He's kind of looking around like, what's going on in here? And then he went over to the other office, and then he came out with scissors and went back into his hole. It's just
he wasn't running with him, was he?
I think he was frolicking.
It was a good pace. Yeah,
it was at least a frolic.
Don't ever frolic with scissors. That's just dangerous. That man has had more nicknames since I've started here, though, than any other employee. So now his new one is Tommy Quest.
Tommy Quest. You know
that
sorry, that's
makes
the Johnny
Haji.
Quest. Yeah. Ooh. Haji was a very resourceful guy.
Well, I was gonna say you'd be Haji, but I think Gene would be our race banner.
I think so.
Yep.
Can be the dog.
Can I tell you something? I have never in my entire life watched a single episode of Johnny Quest, and yet I knew all 3 of those characters off the top of the dome.
I have watched them, and you're not missing much.
The thing is, growing up, I didn't like watching serious cartoons.
Yeah.
Like even to the point where I had a problem with Scooby-Doo. Because it was like, it just was
I
too...
always loved Scooby-Doo.
There were funny elements in it, but it was too serious in between.
I was always a huge fan of the Shaggy and Scooby friendship.
Same.
Yeah.
But it's the same reason that like I could never get into like anime because they're cartoons, but they're way too serious. They're like, they're not
Johnny Quest,
funny all the time.
Yeah, Johnny Quest is like U2, U2, the band.
Johnny
Quest.
We just all feel like we've been bullied into liking him over the years.
It was like some kind of bougie socialist saying Johnny Quest is good. But no one actually watched it.
No, I know it was from that era of the
And I think
Hanna-Barbera.
YouTube's the same. Everyone's talking about YouTube's such a great band. Really? How many people are real fans of YouTube?
Right.
Nobody.
It's
They're like, I kind of like The Street Has No Name. I kind of like, but no one's sitting there. They even gave you a whole free album and people complained. That's how bad.
Don't you dare force your music upon us.
It's like they just gave you the music and people complained.
This is an 89 Honda. How dare you?
I mean, no one likes U2, really. But I equate Johnny Quest in that same vein.
That's interesting. I like that. But it was a different time for like Hanna-Barbera animations where they were cutting costs. They were like reusing a lot of animations. It was very cheaply made.
Yeah.
You know, those whole scenes where like you see him running down the hallway with 17 doors.
Yeah. Well, and it was that era, Space Ghost. There's a couple of those shows in that same vein.
Space Ghost.
Yeah.
Because of Space Ghost Coast to Coast, I have a childlike love for Space Ghost, Zorak, and the whole crew.
Yeah. You know what? On
Brack.
Mine, because I always lumped Grape Ape in that little group too.
Okay.
And mine was kind of the Grape Ape, and
I liked a lot of. Okay, I'll give you an example. I liked, and I watched a lot of the Warner Brothers cartoons. So I liked. I can't even think of his name offhand. Atascadero Escondido, the exit stage right, even the pink Snagglepuss.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Huckleberry Hound, Quick Draw. So like a
Deputy Dog.
The Hanna-Barbera cartoons of old, because like I love
Droopy.
I love the Looney Tunes stuff. So it was like Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, and then like those early Hanna-Barbera cartoons were like my jam.
Yeah, but then I also got a lot of like Heckle and Jekyll.
I got a little. I think Heckle and Jekyll was starting to kind of like work their way out.
Chili Willy was a few of those.
Heckle and Jekyll sort of was a little bit of a racist epithet, so I think it sort of like got worked out over the years.
Yeah, but I just remember growing up and like Chili Willy, Underdog, Mighty Mouse, Jekyll.
Underdog was a big one. We had a dog as a kid.
Yeah.
A little. I don't remember what the breed of the dog was, but we named it Sweet Polly Purebred.
Yeah, nice.
That was a huge Underdog.
But yeah,
fan.
those were all kind of in my early wheelhouse of cartoon kids. Flintstones, of course, was is Flintstones even on anywhere anymore?
It's really not, and that's what blows my mind because they still have such a control over the marketing that they have.
Yeah.
Like the vitamins, the cereal. They're still.
But can you go anywhere and watch the old Flintstone cartoons?
I'm sure that they are somewhere. I think Boomerang owns them. Like so, Cartoon Network. So I guess that would be maybe. Well, that's so HBO Max.
Maybe.
No.
Oh yeah.
Not that I want to.
It's the Warners.
It's all under Warner now.
Is it? Not that I want to. It's just wondering if it's out there somewhere.
The curiosity of being able to pop on an episode. I get that.
Yeah. You know, just the whole kazoo days to the anyway.
I got a poll for you.
Okay.
Herman and Catnip, if you remember that show.
Herman and Catnip.
That was a like cat and mouse, kind of like Tom and Jerry.
Okay.
Probably the most violent cartoon
and Catnip.
More violent than Tom and Jerry.
To ever exist. Yeah.
Because you've seen Tom and Jerry, they're hitting each other with frying pans. They're a lot of Tom face.
No, in this they're getting
shaped faces.
They're getting cut into pieces and and stuff like that.
I'm gonna look this up.
It is.
Now, do you remember? This was another one from like the '80s. This might be actually after your time, but
I think that's from the same like Mighty Mouse.
Heathcliff. That was a big one.
I remember
my
Heathcliff.
House. Heathcliff and Garfield and Friends.
Yeah, they were kind of.
Herman and Catnip are a duo of cartoon characters.
It's a Harvey Tunes.
It is Harvey Tunes from famous studios in the 40s and 50s.
Okay. See, I you know what? I may have seen them and not realized their name.
Right.
Because I've seen some of those kind of cartoons, and in my head, I'm like, oh, that must have been like a precursor to Tom and Jerry or something.
If you ever get like a chance to look at some of the Dark Side episodes that like Warner Brothers put out, or even like the Disney cartoons back in the day, like when a lot of them were being used during like the war to promote like patriotism stuff. There's some dark stuff in those cartoons.
Oh yeah,
some horrible depictions of German and Japanese people.
There's adults with adult problems that are making them, and they probably crowbarred it in.
Have you ever seen Der Fuhrer's face?
Der Fuhrer's face?
The Donald Duck cartoon?
I was going to say, never look at Donald Duck the same way again.
It's crazy.
If I have, I don't recall it off the top of my head.
It's basically an anti-Nazi piece that was put out by the United States, but it's real. Like there's a whole lot of just.
I remember, and we got to wrap this up.
Yeah.
But I remember watching a Porky Pig cartoon that used to disturb me, where he was like fishing, and then he fell out the boat and got dragged underneath, and there was like these ghost goblin things that were grabbing him, and it was pretty haunting. Like I remember as a kid, I was traumatized by it. Like I was I was upset. I don't remember the whole story, but I do remember feeling upset and like kind of haunted by Porky Pig getting dragged under and like these ghost things. Like it was very. It just
they didn't really have a sense of what kids wanted back then.
Yeah, it was.
Like Sean, I was terrified of Scooby-Doo too.
Yeah,
like
I wasn't scared of it. It just, you know what it was? It bored me.
Or that too. It was just too adult and too creepy.
It didn't appeal to me. Yeah, because it felt like it was like not for my demographic, maybe.
So that thing you just described with the ghouls, that was probably funny to them back then.
Yeah.
But now it's creepy.
I just remember watching it when I was a little child in the 70s there, and remember being kind of freaked out by it. I don't remember all the, because I was young, but I remember it was not cool. So
childhood trauma.
There you go. All right, it is 9:24. Let's do a quick weather update and a quick commercial update, and then Tracy Fry with the Roswell Public Library going to join us here in just a minute. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty hot today. We'll be in the upper 90s for the afternoon high and a little bit breezy. Lots of sunshine for the overnight hours. Clear and mid 60s to low 70s. We'll hit the 100-degree mark on Saturday with sunny skies and then just an isolated afternoon shower or thunderstorm possible on Sunday. Otherwise, it'll stay sunny and hot with upper 90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
I read a quote once that said, "When you blame others, you give up your power to change." Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smitherman for The Joy of Marriage.
We all want to play the victim at times. It even feels good to feel sorry for ourselves. But that puts a lid on our life. It stunts our growth, it damages our marriages, and if you have children, it can even hurt them.
It can seem like a daunting task to take responsibility for our actions. But the Bible says in Philippians 4:13, we can do everything through Christ who gives us strength.
If you've never experienced the love of God, then you don't know your true potential and don't realize how good God is. When you're feeling like a victim, turn to God. He'll give you the strength to move beyond yourself and help you have a victorious marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
The blowout is on. The Honda Summer Blowout is on all month long at Roswell Honda with an amazing selection of sparkling new rides to choose from, like a 2017 Honda Accord for just $389 a month, a 2019 Ford EcoSport for just $349 a month, or a 2015 Chrysler 200 for just $249 a month. Zero down, no payments till September, and 0% financing available. And if you've ever thought about trading up, now is the best time. Your current vehicle has never been worth more. And bring in your mailer for a chance to win big. The blowout is on all month long at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
At LeGrand Funeral Chapel, we believe that every funeral should be a reflection of the life it honors. The joys, the triumphs, the faith, the family, and so much more. For us, no detail is too small, no request too big. This is Rosa Aguilar. When the time comes to choose a funeral home, we hope you'll let us serve your family. At LeGrand Funeral Chapel and Crematory, we make it personal.
Let the Valley Cafe cater your next business meeting or lunch. Call ahead 575-755-3287 and place your order. The Valley Cafe 575-755-3287.
You can't hunt camels in Arizona, but you can buy them. They go for about $10 a pack. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 9:27 and joining us in studio all the way from the Roswell Public Library, all the way like 3 blocks away here.
What was it? 1.5.
1.5. I overlooked it. It was bigger blocks. But Tracy Fry back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Good. How about you?
Doing good. And good news, everybody. The summer reading program is officially in full swing.
Oh, yeah.
It got underway the 6th, I believe,
yes.
Right? And unfortunately, you missed Snow Cone Day.
Yes. And then our snow cone machine was acting up, so we'll do snow cones again another day.
So we might have to do a IOU snow cone event or something like that.
It was working for a period, and then it started acting up, so we had to shut it down. But we're ready to. It's good now.
We're ready to get flavored ice to you once again. So,
yes.
Good. But summer reading program is in full swing. If you have not signed up yet, good news is now's a good time to still sign up because you got all of July and the rest of this month to get your summer reading program obligations done. So you still got a little time to get your reading requirements done. Don't forget, this is not just for the kids. Yes, you can sign your children up for the summer reading program, and I highly recommend you do, but mom, dad, parents, adults can also sign up for the summer reading program.
Yes.
Your prizes will be more for your speed. Not
gift cards.
Unless you're really into Racerheads and, stuff that the kids are into. And if you are, I'm sure we can make
We can accommodate them then.
But we got better prizes that would be more appealing to you. But yeah, this is, and then one thing about this is obviously we're hoping parents sign up too, and they participate with their kids, and they read together as a family. That's the idea. But you don't have to have kids. If you're just an adult that loves reading, come on in, sign up. You can do your reading. We only ask that you have a library card in good standing, and you read material from the library.
Yes, that's
so. And it is honor system. I understand that you can get books that the library has from other places and stuff. But what we're trying to get you to do is come see the library, come see the books, come find things from the library that appeal to you, and then you check them out. And so we're encouraging you to go treasure hunting is what we're trying to do. Yes. Is you go and dig through the shelves and find those books that, maybe are new, maybe they were written way before your time, but you find an interest and a spark in them, and that's what we're trying to do. So, but anyway, now's the time to sign up for that, and all you need to do is just come to the library, go to the front desk, say, I'd like to sign myself or my family up for summer reading program.
Right.
As far as the kids, do they have to be there to sign up, or can parents sign up? What's the rules on all that?
We had parents come in and sign up because their kids was in Vacation Bible School or in Peggy's Camp Invention.
Yes, yeah.
So the parents will come. You don't have to have your children with you. You can sign up.
You can sign up without your kids.
Right, and we'll give you the swag bag and the little badge that we give them.
Okay.
And then when the kids come in to choose their books, then they'll get their prizes.
Gotcha. So so when they get their prizes, hopefully they're coming in and you're giving them to them. And obviously, if there's other arrangements need to be made, we'll make those kind of things happen. But ideally, at that point, we'd love to have the kids because we want the kids, especially if they're an age where they can be a little more independent and things like that. We want to teach them how to kind of navigate the library on their own. I don't know do they still do this in schools where they teach. Like I remember in elementary school, we would go to the library and learn about the Dewey Decimal System. And I know there's not card catalogs sitting around anymore and things, but we kind of learned how the library was organized. And I didn't know if that was still going on in school, or I know you're at the Roswell Public Library, but I didn't know if they were still teaching kids
I think they are, because when we had schools come visit, they were asking where
very familiar.
Yes. And we were showing them that it's actually now on a computer, so
gotcha.
The kids enjoyed that.
Oh, good.
And then the younger ones were bringing in that little. Remember how they used to give you that thing to put if you pull up books, so you know where to put it back?
Oh yeah, the mark or whatever. Right. Okay.
So we had school kids, like kindergartners, come in, and the teacher would say, "Okay, make sure you put it back."
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Good, because I think that's so. And so the idea is we want to get your kids more opportunities to do that kind of stuff, because I think we know when you have the child actively a part of picking the books they're getting to read and things, they're going to actually be more invested in wanting to read it, and because they were a part of the decision process, and they, whatever. And I'm sure it's and kids are just like adults, covers and things do. You always hear don't judge a book by its cover, but I'm sorry, we do that. We look at the cover. Ooh, it looks exciting. Looks like something I want to read. Or that's too romancy for me. I'm out. Whatever it is. That usually, but that look determines yay or nay for a lot of us on some of that stuff.
That's why we kind of steer them towards the catalog. If they said like they're looking for a book about turtles,
sure.
So I can take them to the shelf, but I know they like to use the computer to look, and then they look at the covers, and they say, "Well, take me over there." And then they look from there.
Good, but that's great. And so you want to get, and so please, if you can, Bring your kids in to experience that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Now, obviously, if time doesn't work or they're a little younger, no problem. But if they are of age where they're doing, please, the library would love to let you come and use this as a learning experience for your children. And while they're there, get them to learn about the different activities and things that are going on a weekly basis or a daily basis in some cases.
And then come in also to play in our learn and play area, to play with the car and the boat.
that's been about 2-3 months now. That's been in the library now. So if you haven't had a chance to come see that yet, use this as an opportunity while you're signing up for summer reading and all that good stuff too. I know also it's always part of summer reading program is some special, fun events that are part, whether it's a sing-along type thing or a project thing or a thing with animals. So I'm sure we've got a plethora of some of those events in the coming weeks that we want to put on people's calendars here.
So if they came in on Wednesday, we just had the puppets. So we had Megan Casey from Rocky Mountain Puppets, and we had a very nice crowd. We had close to 200 people come through.
Good deal. So that probably filled up a good hunk of the library. We get about 200 people once in there.
Right. We just put them in the Bondurant room so everybody could spread out.
That's your catch-all there. You can that's the best place for doing like author talks and any type of group setting type thing. That's probably the biggest room to accommodate that kind of stuff. So.
Yes. So today we're going to have movies. Every Friday we have movies.
Friday's movies, yeah.
And today it's going to be Alvin and the Chipmunks Chipwrecked. And it's at 11 a.m.
I'm trying to get in my lexicon of the Chipmunks movies, where does that fall? And I'm thinking that's one of the more modern ones, I
think so, too.
Yeah.
And that's going to be at 11 a.m. We'll have popcorn. We'll have lemonade. And we do have a new STEM teacher. Unfortunately, he's not feeling well today.
Because
I invited him to come, but he couldn't make it
So
today.
next time we'll get our new STEM representative to come.
Right. And he normally does like a little STEM activity afterwards. Since he's not feeling today, and it's normally at 1 o'clock after the movie. But if you're interested in the STEM activity, just call first to make sure he's coming in because he had to go to the doctor.
Okay, so it's to be determined for this week.
Right.
But no worries. If he can't do it this week, he'll be back in full swing next Friday. I'm guessing.
Right.
So, but like I said, this is something that you can kind of plan. So if you make plans to come out to the Friday movie with your family, and stick around afterwards, and we'll do some of the STEM fun stuff with the kids. And what age is that STEM? Is it like elementary school age?
Right.
Or?
It's mostly elementary school age, and he kind of accommodates whoever walks into the room.
So whether they're in first grade or even fifth grade, it's still. Right. But anything past that's probably a little.
Yeah. I think they might not be that enthralled.
It won't be as exciting to them or new to them because they've been on the earth a little bit longer and experienced some of these things. So
once or twice.
their wisdom is so too great for them. I'm just kidding. Very cool. But so that's coming up today.
Yes.
What about here this weekend or next week? We got some stuff going on.
Yes. This Saturdays are always our fun day, and I believe this weekend we'll be doing the Legos. And Matt, who's our STEM teacher, will also do a STEM activity if he's here afterwards, connected to the Legos. So it's always some sort of STEM activity. He's trying to include STEM activities.
Sure.
In some of our
and Legos are such a great tool because they like we said, it's generations of people that love them, and really your imagination is the limit on what you can do with them. If you just keep, put more blocks, more things, and with that you can teach a lot of science and engineering and math there. So it makes sense. So yeah, good deal.
Okay, and then next, we're still doing our Mother Goose on the Loose in English and Spanish on Tuesdays. English at 10:30 a.m., Spanish at 5:30 p.m. on Tuesdays during the summer.
And as we said every time we talk about this, please let your kids go to both. Let them learn the Spanish, the English. The more you expose them to them, the younger, the more likely they're going to embrace and understand. And next thing you know, when they're adults, they may be speaking Spanish, English as fluently as can be, and that will serve them very well in life.
Yes, they can avoid those classes in college.
Absolutely, and it may all started because they were absorbing that stuff in story time at the library, and that's how kids and when it comes to foreign language and stuff, kids are sponges. I don't know why education doesn't have us learning that stuff in elementary school instead of high school, because I think a lot of that would stick if we did it.
Oh, I think so
then,
too.
as opposed to Because by high school time, they're trying to focus on math and this and their college things, and so
on algebra.
And so, well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's just,
yeah.
And so, unless a second language is not part of that plan, they don't care about it. Whereas, as young, they're going to suck it up and absorb it, and they can incorporate it into whatever at that point. So, I hope the trend someday gets to where kids are taking Spanish and French in elementary school instead of high school, but we'll see. That's another lesson for another day.
Okay.
But anyway, my point is, I highly recommend that when you bring the kids out bring them to the Mother Goose Spanish version, the Mother Goose English version. Let them hear, and maybe back to do it so they can kind of hear the differences and understand what the because if English is their first language, they're going to understand that better than their Spanish, and vice versa on the other way. But either way, they can compare and contrast and connect the dots there.
Right.
So very good. Sorry, I got a little too long on that.
That's all right. I'm used to you now.
You're used to my windbagness.
And then on Wednesdays we have our music and movement. It's a story time, but it's more music based. So next week, also on the 23rd at 10:30, we're going to have Pirates, Dogs of the Sea, which I'm looking forward to.
Nice. Okay.
It's going to be dogs doing a pirate show.
Dog pirates.
Yes.
Cool.
And it's Denise Gard is bringing her famous border collies, and they're hunting for treasure upon the 7 seas.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm guessing their treasure's not the same as our treasure.
Well, I'll let you know.
I'm thinking, I just feel like their treasure's like probably bones. You know what I mean? Because dogs like bones.
Yeah.
And they bury the bones. So, I'm looking for gold doubloons. These guys are probably looking for bones. But,
Might be McDonald's. Who knows?
Or if it's Scooby's, then it's Scooby snack dogs.
There you go.
But either way, I don't think they care about this. But anyway, it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be cool, and the kids will love it. And
yes.
And everyone loves dogs and pirates, so now you get the best of both worlds. So it'll be a cool little fun puppet show. Right?
Well,
is it puppet or is it
no?
more?
It's the actual doggies
are
coming. So I'm really looking forward to this. Only one show at 10:30, and the dogs are trained
to be the pirates.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Someone look at the audience and be like, "Wait a minute, is that Mike Winters?"
It could be. Well, because I know even the dogs are trained. Dogs, they might see a kid that they're happy and want to go pet and say, "Hey, come pet me," and that might take precedence over the rest of the pirate show.
But the show will be interrupted for a couple of minutes,
which is A-okay because everyone wants to pet and touch the dogs anyway. So.
Right. Exactly. Who doesn't want to pet a nice dog?
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. You get to come and meet the dogs and and I'm sure afterwards you can kind of meet and greet and pet the dogs and talk to the trainers and all that stuff. And so, but yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. So, again, these types of shows, they're free.
Right.
Everything's free. But it's first come, first serve. And so if you want to get a good spot, you might want to get there a little earlier because the early person gets the good seat.
Exactly.
So, and what's the date on this one again?
This is Thursday, the 23rd, next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
At 10:30 a.m. It's only one show.
Okay.
So get there.
Get there or miss out.
Exactly.
Yeah. And again, 10:30 next Thursday at the Roswell Public Library.
Right.
Again, part of the summer reading program. You don't necessarily have to be signed up for it to enjoy it.
Because we had people who have come in that are not.
But we would love you to. While you're there, you might as well. 23rd, yeah, you still could do it. But while you're there, go ahead and sign up and stuff and enjoy the Pirate Dog Show, and then maybe grab your first stack of books to get reading at while you're there too. So definitely. But again, this is all part of that fun and stuff too. So all right, I'm sorry. What's next we want to promote? I know we got quite a bit here.
And then on the following, all of our classes are going to fall on a Thursday, the special performances.
Okay.
So the following Thursday, which is the 30th, at 11 a.m., we're going to have a visit from the zoo.
Okay.
Our zoo.
Gotcha. Spring River Zoo.
Spring River Zoo, and they're bringing Kevin, the guinea pig. So.
Ah, okay.
So
they bring animals for all to come and meet and interact with.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Why not?
Well, that's what you do. You want to go and anytime you get to see the animals not at the place you're supposed to see the animals, it makes it that much more fun too.
True.
I do, at least my opinion, because the guinea pigs. It's cool to see them at the zoo and stuff, but it's much more fun to take them out.
What
and
is he doing reading that book?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
They don't let you usually touch them and interact with them at the zoo because that could be dangerous. But here, it's a structured environment, and they can have some fun. So,
right.
Yeah, good deal.
And they're going to be talking about ocean devotion, which is about keeping our waters clean.
Okay. Very good.
And then the following Thursday, we're getting into July now. July 7th, we're going to have oil pastels. It's a painting class.
Okay.
With Taja Ramaj, who was the one who did the stenciling on the in the library.
Oh, okay.
All the painting in there, the pillars, the seasons.
Some of the beautiful work and stuff there.
Right.
So if you want to learn a little bit of how some of that's done.
That one, unfortunately, is full.
Okay.
But there's a waiting list. So if you want to get on the waiting list, you're more than welcome.
Well, it sounds like it's pretty popular. So if it's already filled up and
right.
we're it's next month. That doesn't happen at the library very often. Things get filled up a month in advance, but it does happen once in a while.
We have another painting class which is full too. I think there is a desire in the community for their kids to get acquainted with painting.
Well, it sounds like we're gonna have to offer a few more of those classes, I guess, if the demand's that great. So
yeah, I think so too.
So I'm guessing methinks you'll start seeing more of those in the coming months here. Maybe even outside the summer programs here.
Yeah, we probably should at least do it once a month.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it sounds like if there's that many people wanting to see and wanting to learn more about it, it's
just they want to let their child experience the painting.
And that's what the library's here to do, is serve those needs of the community, and all of that is continuing education, which falls in that the mission statement of the library, which is perfect. So good. Well, I'm glad they're taking and embracing it, and who knows, we may have our next generation of artists that'll be doing their stuff all over town.
Why not?
And they all start in the library.
Roswell?
Yeah. Well, we have a great little arts and music community anyway, and so I think this just enhances that and makes it. It's the parts of the community that make us more closer than different. You know what I mean? And that's what I love about it. So please come out to these. And like I said, even though these are full, when the next ones come out, we'll let folks know and sign up. Keep checking back with the library periodically to say, hey, do you have any more of these classes that I can get on?
And if they want to get on the waiting list, they're more than welcome, because sometimes people get on the waiting list, and then when you call them, they're not going to make it. So you never know. You might be able to.
Life happens.
Exactly.
But get on the waiting list.
And our very last class for the summer reading will be our ukulele program, which we still have spots for. And it's July 21st, which is a Thursday. And we're going to have 2 classes at 10:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. And they're going to teach the children how to play ukulele. Okay. We'll have the instruments
Ukuleles will be provided.
Right.
Do they still give those to 4th graders or something in schools? I know that was a thing for a while there. I know you're kind of not from here. I
don't know.
But I know I know they taught it, but I know they do recorders.
Yeah.
And I think ukuleles. But see, back when I was a kid in Maryland, there was no ukulele.
Right.
It was just.
In Brooklyn, there wasn't either.
Yeah, no ukuleles in Brooklyn?
No.
I feel like that could be a movie. Ukuleles in Brooklyn.
There was a tree in Brooklyn. One tree.
We had one tree, but no ukulele. But yeah, definitely. So. So cool. That'll be fun. So, but like you said, there's a couple spots left, but that's filling quick too. So, if you really want to get in on the ukulele, I would sign up this week if you can. Maybe come in today or tomorrow and call in and sign up.
Or if they're coming in for the movie today, they're more than welcome.
Yeah, while you're coming by to see the movie, which by the way is the Chipmunks here. Which Chipmunks movie is it again?
Chipwrecked.
Chipwrecked. Chipwrecked.
Right.
Not Chimp-wrecked. Chipwrecked. I want to say Chimp-wrecked. That's monkeys.
Chimp. I was thinking, not the monkeys. I was thinking of the Three Stooges.
Oh yeah, Chimp and
Curly and the rest of them.
Oh man, I kind of miss those. I haven't seen the Three Stooges in years.
They come on Saturday.
Do they?
On MeTV.
Oh, okay.
So my husband always watches it. So.
I need to set that DVR or something because it's been a while since I've checked out a good Three Stooges show. And
you just sit there like this and go, and shake your head.
Well, it's fun. It's just fun because it's so devoid, and you can there's nothing going on there. It's just sometimes we need that little bit. So when you can't get it in a book, you can get it on Three Stooges. So
there you go.
But and again, of course, for folks like we said, now's the time. If you have not signed up for the summer reading program, you still got time. Again, kids, adults. If you breathe and like to read, or learning to read, then you can sign up for the summer reading program. And don't forget, your infant babies can even sign up, and you can read to them, and that reading counts toward your summer reading requirements and the baby's summer
And we
reading requirements.
still have the swag bags. So
Good.
So if the kids you want to sign up your kids, they're going to still get a bag.
While supplies last, we got the
Right.
swag bags. You'll get one as supplies
registration.
allow here.
Yeah.
And then, of course, like you said, there is incentive for signing up. You complete the
Right.
program, you get prizes and things
Right,
like
you get
that.
a raffle to win Kindles and
Yeah.
marble runs, and we
Mhm.
have a lot of gifts in the back.
Yeah. And for the adults, like I said, the Kindles and stuff, but even
No,
like
the Kindles for the kids, and then
Kids-
for the adults, they get gift cards.
the gift cards for like restaurants or
Right.
or retail or whatever there. So,
Exactly.
perfect. But anybody likes free shopping ways or things like
Yes.
that, And we're running out of time, but I'll tell you this. I know a lot of people are anti-gift card at like Christmas time or
Right.
birthdays. Not me. I'm the opposite. If you just want to give me copious amounts of gift cards, I'll find. I mean, if it's to weird things that no one wants,
Right.
But like your Amazons or places
Oh,
that
yeah.
everybody goes, yeah, I will take that any day. I don't mind. Because to me that's part of the adventure. I'm like, ooh, I got $50 to spend on nothing.
Take note, everybody.
I'm just going to tour
Gift
Amazon,
cards.
and next thing you know, I end up with some weird ice trays or something like that. But I mean,
So you
that's-
use them at a party.
Yeah,
There you go.
Exactly. But yeah, because to me it's kind of like, ooh, this is money I didn't earn.
Yeah.
I can buy something that is completely devoid of usefulness for me or anything.
Exactly.
Something, because if I had no, I'm not wasting money on that. But
Yes.
it's a gift. It's gift
Why not?
money. I'll do it in that.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's my philosophy. So, so all you poo-poo on gift cards, maybe reassess it a little bit. It's not personal. I'm like, look, they thought enough to know that I'm confusing, and they said, here, just go about your day. And I'm like, well, thank you, I'll love it. So anyway, again, if you have any questions about anything we talked about with summer reading program or our regular program, because on top of
Anything.
this, there's the regular stuff that's going on, like the quilters still meet. and
Not
then
the quilters, but the crocheters.
the crocheters. I'm sorry, crocheters. They like if you want to learn chess and those kind of things.
Chess is the first of the month
They're
on
still
Saturday.
meeting every
First Saturday.
Well, I'm trying to think. There's a couple others I'm missing too.
Then there's the coloring club that meets on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
We have the Tech Tuesdays where you can come in and ask questions about your device, how to
so if you want to learn
download
how
a book or whatever.
Yeah, if you want to utilize some of the online resources for the library, but that's a little intimidating or confusing, those are days you can come down, bring your tablets and stuff,
Right.
and they'll set you right up and help
Yes.
you navigate through all that stuff. So,
Right.
Yeah, very handy.
Yes.
And even how expert you are, sometimes you're even like, well, I can't, because I've gotten
Why
within
is this-
apps and I'm like, I can't find it, or they update something on you and they move it and you're like, dang it, I don't know where I had it all down, now they moved it on me. So,
Right.
but anyway, they can help with all those on Tech Tuesdays
Yes.
too. Good deal. Is there anything we missed?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Of course, don't forget books. You can check them out and all that too. They've got the drop off outside
Right.
that you can drop off. You don't even have to go in the library to do it. I'm telling you right now, if you're trying to cheat the system on turning in late books, it has a scanner. It knows exact times you do it and all that. So if you say I turned it in a day ago, the computer will know if you turned it in a day ago.
Right.
So, not that but I'm just saying if you're trying to use that as a move to get out of turning in a book late, it's going to know when you do.
And they give them a grace period anyway. So
Yeah. Well, and the whole point is to get you to return the book. They're not going to, that book was supposed to be back yesterday. What's going on? But
we're gonna need those back.
yeah, but if you're holding on to it like you bought the book, then they're going to say, hey,
right,
we want to bring that back. We got some people want to read it.
Right. And if they want to renew it and no one else is waiting for it, just give us a call and we can renew it.
Oh, and one last thing, too. If you've got summer plans, traveling about the state and out and about here, don't forget the Roswell Public Library, thanks to the New Mexico Tourism Department, is offering these passes that will get up to 6 people into many various museums and other things around the state, whether you're going to Albuquerque or Las Cruces or Lincoln, New Mexico. Or some of these. There's about 15 or so different places around the state that you can go and get in for free, basically.
Right.
It's like up to 6 people.
Right.
And you're going to save some money, too, because, like, just for instance, you go to Lincoln to go see the courthouse, I think it's about $10 to $12 a head, something in that ballpark. 6 of you, that's $60 right there. I don't know about you, but I could use $60 or 70. Actually, 60 is low ball. It's probably more like 80, 90, maybe even 100 by the time 6 of you. I could use that extra money. You get it for free. Now, how it works is you check it out for a week like you would a library card, but you get it for 1 week. You can't reserve it. You can't renew it.
Right.
You get it for 7 days. You pick it up. And then 7 days later, you got to bring it back to the library here.
Right.
So you probably want to check it out like the day before you go on your vacation.
Right.
And return. Now, like the big thing is it's no reserve. If it's there, it's there. Usually there's several. So
yes, there's plenty.
But you can't pre-order. You can't pre-register. You can't reserve it. It's just first come, first serve.
Right.
And you get it for a week. So if you're going to Cruces or Albuquerque or Santa Fe, or wherever, go to the library, inquire about, just go to the front desk. You can see the list of the different places it'll get you into. If it's some of the things you want to do, boom, and now you've got some extra stuff to do on your trip that you got to do for free.
And we still do the alley pick. If a person wants to not come in the library because they're on their way somewhere,
gotcha,
they can still do it through the alley, through the window.
Okay.
So if that was like one of the items they wanted, they could just call and request it. And we'll check it out to them and hand it out the window.
Okay. You might want to go to the library's website to kind of, if you're doing it that way you can kind of read and see exactly where and when, because if it's through the drive-through, that's a little quicker thing. And so that way you can kind of research where it's at, where it's good for, and whether it's suitable for your trip or not. So very good. Excellent. Well, thank you much, ma'am. Appreciate the visit as always. And folks, sign up for the summer reading program. Kids, adults, now's the time. If you missed opening day here, sign on now. Like I said, and they still got the swag bags while supplies last. So you'll get everything but the snow cone today. So
they'll be later on.
The snow cone will come later. You can get your own snow cone. But let's be honest, it's 100 degrees. By the time you get your book and everything, that snow cone's going to be a mess. Thank you, Tracy. We'll see you next time. It's 9:54. Let's take a quick break before they kick us off the radio. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Now your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. Artesia General Hospital is adding a new Fuji Scenaria View 128 CT scanner, which is now available for patient imaging immediately. Construction is underway for a state-of-the-art suite that will house the new equipment and offer the latest in CT technologies to patients. But until the building is finished in October, the new scanner will be housed temporarily in a mobile unit. That will allow the hospital to begin offering improved CT scans to patients immediately. A total of 164 deer and 5 youth-only pronghorn licenses that were not issued during the annual big game draw will go on sale on June 29th at 10 a.m. Mountain Time through the department's online license system. New Mexico residents will get first shot at the licenses for the first 24 hours of the first-come, first-served sale. If any licenses are left after the first 24 hours, the sale will be opened to non-residents on June 30th. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Your morning espresso starts right here. It's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Gallup has a poll out. Only 16% of Americans are happy with the direction of the country. How could they be happy with it? What do they have to be happy about? Joe Biden inherited inflation at 1.4%. Now 8.6%. The highest in 2 years, whatever it is. Gas prices, $2.39. Now it's over $5 on average. Add to that the supply chain crisis. Oh, we'll fix that in a 90-day sprint, he said. Yeah, so much for that. We won't abandon Americans in Afghanistan. No, we abandoned them. The border disaster, do I need to even go into detail? Kids in cages, process release, no COVID tests in the middle of a pandemic. Whoever thought we'd have a baby formula shortage?
The Sean Hannity Show from coast to coast later today.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Stocks in the U.S. staged a partial rebound this morning before turning mixed, a day after plunging on fears that economic activity will be depressed by interest rate hikes aimed at cooling inflation. Investors worry that moves to control inflation that's running at a 4-decade high might tip the U.S. and other major economies into a recession. With a tiny gain in May, U.S. industrial production has risen for 5 months in a row. China defending its harsh zero-COVID policy after the U.S. ambassador said it was causing serious damage to the global economy and foreign business sentiment. Russia reducing natural gas to Europe yet again, as the countries there have been trying to wean themselves off Russian supplies amid the war in Ukraine. Today marks the 3rd straight day of significant reductions of Russian natural gas to Europe. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Well, the biting bugs and the ferocious flyers are out in force, and if you don't take care of them now, you'll be swatting and scratching all summer. Makes me itchy just thinking about it. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Whether it's keeping the fleas and ticks off your animals or keeping the flies and mosquitoes away from your barbecue, you gotta use the right stuff, and you gotta do it at the right time. So come see us now at Roswell Seed Company, and don't let the bugs tick you off. Get it? Tick.
It's been a long, cold, boring winter, and children in neighborhoods everywhere are waiting to hear those magical words. The pool's open! Summer weather has finally rolled around. Make sure your pool is ready. Preparing and maintaining your pool for summer the right way will create a season full of smiles instead of headaches and make your life much easier. Soft Swim, the chlorine-free sanitizing system by BioGuard, only at Mays Lumber Company.
You can count on Mays Lumber Company.
Your home for Coast to Coast AM in Roswell, 106.5, Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
And that's closing in on 10 o'clock. That's going to do it for us. Have a great day. We'll see you on Monday morning, or talk to you on Monday morning at least.
Well, you'll see us.
If you miss any part, you can go back to KSVPTV.com.
Watch me pull out an old gym.
There you go.
Benai, everybody.
You listen to 106.5, Roswell's Talk FM.